everybody, and welcome to the J72 Gaming Channel. My name is Jacob. You can just call me Jay here. And today I got my good friend Aceshigh. You want to say hi, Al?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm excited for this. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so this should be fun, guys. So you obviously clicked on the thumbnail. You know what we're doing today. We are going to do a tier list of the original 150 Pokemon. And here's the kicker. And I know I mentioned this to Al, but he might not have remembered. We are only going to be allowed 6 Pokemon in S tier.
Right.
Only
That's
6.
so tough.
Here's the even harder thing I'm going to throw on you. If you really like the Blastoise line, you can only have Blastoise or only have Squirtle in your S tier. So for this whole thing, we're not doing the whole form as one. We're rating each and every individual Pokemon as their own unique Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm
So
down.
if you really like Squirtle, but you also really like Blastoise, only one gets S tier, and we'll explain as we go along. Also, guys, I want to let you know that we are both posting this video, so you obviously can see my face cam and Al's face cam on this video, but if you'd like to see, if you're on my side and you'd like to see Al's video, go ahead and click the link down in the description below so you can see where he's ranking things. We'll audibly explain stuff as we go, right? But we'll do that, and you can see both sides. Also, there's not going to be a whole lot of visual aids to this. We're not going to be throwing up too much stuff and editing and all that. So if you guys want to just kind of listen to this in the background as a podcast, that is totally okay. I think that's going to be a great way to take in all this information and all that stuff. But yeah, without further ado, I think that's pretty much it. Are you ready to discuss some favorites and some very well-deserved D tier Pokemon?
I am very excited. I'm nervous about the S tier. I've known you a long time, man. I've known you over a decade. It's been a while. I think I know what some of your S tiers are gonna be, and I disagree with some. But we'll get to that when we get to that.
Immediately, and I disagree with some. Right on. Well, let's have you started off. What's your opinion on Bulbasaur, man?
Bulbasaur, listen, we've got all three of the beginning starters, Gen 1 starters, all that. Bulbasaur, I think, is 100% underrated,
I would agree with
but
that.
he's really not that great. I can't give him above a B tier.
You know what? I'm going to actually agree with you on that one. I do think he's B tier. Mainly because, so like you're saying, he's underrated, right? He's overshadowed, too, by Charmander and Squirtle. People love Charmander and Squirtle. But rating just Bulbasaur, I think he's a pretty good Pokemon. Like, competitively wise, he's sick. He's awesome. He does the job.
Right.
But besides that, he's just kind of like a little grass dinosaur, which is cool, but it's not crazy cool, right? It's not like some of these other Pokemon we have. So yeah, I agree with you, man. B tier on that one for sure. Okay, well, what do you think about Ivysaur?
Ivysaur, I think, is this is going to sound basically the same thing, but I think that Ivysaur is even more underrated than Bulbasaur. That being said, I I mean, I think so. Here's the weird part. I think that Bulbasaur and Ivysaur are both cooler than their final evolution.
Okay.
I know that's an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
But I think it's a solid C to B tier.
Okay. So I hear you out, and I actually agree that I think Ivysaur is a little bit cooler than Bulbasaur and Venusaur. I might surprise you here. I'm actually going to throw Ivysaur up in A tier. I really like Ivysaur. He is easily my favorite out of the 3 of this evolution, and the main reason is because in Brawl, Super Smash Bros, and even in the the newest one, when you play the Pokemon Trainer, you control Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. And my favorite of those 3 to play is Ivysaur. So straight up, because of the Smash Bros series, Ivysaur has a special place in my heart, and he rises a little bit above the other 2 in his line.
Here's the question: are we putting them on the same tier, same thing, or are we each doing our own?
Oh, each do your own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
you got your tier list, and I got
he's
mine.
a solid fucking B.
Yeah, fair enough.
I can't quite stick him at A.
Yeah. Okay, so
who the hell is this next?
Yeah. So let's explain to the viewers. This tier list that we are on is specifically every Pokemon, period. And where, if I scroll down here, you guys will see it does end up going into Johto and Ho and all that stuff. We're just going to stop at the 150 today, just Kanto. But because it's every Pokemon, it's also showing the Mega forms and the Gigamaxing forms. Now, I'll start off by talking about Gigamaxing Venusaur, because straight up, guys, I hate Gigamaxing. I think they look stupid. I think they are really tall and unbelievable.
Is that a Gigamax Venusaur?
Yep, Gigamax Venusaur. It's
Yo,
from
Galar.
Galar.
Ugly as hell.
Yeah, I'm dropping it in D tier. Yep, 100%. I am not a fan of Giga.
It looks like somebody stepped on a freaking Pokemon.
It squished him,
What
man.
is it?
He squished him and overgrown.
gross.
Yeah, I don't know, man. However, something we can talk about that I do really love is Megas. Megas
are cool.
Megas are great. and Megas are fantastic. So Mega Venusaur, you got any opinion on Mega Venusaur?
I mean, I don't have too much of opinion other than I'm not the biggest Venusaur guy. He's big, he's tough, he's slow, he's basically the exact opposite of me, man. I'm impulsive. I like to just move fast. I like to just do things. Me and Venusaur, we don't click.
Okay,
He's a
that's
good
fair.
Pokemon though. I'll give him a C.
Giving him a C. Both the Mega or the actual forms?
I'm giving all three.
All three? Okay.
I'm sticking them all in C. I like the first two evolutions better than Venusaur.
Okay. Okay.
And I know that's going to be unpopular, but I don't care.
So I'm gonna stick all the rest of the Venusaurs, I think, in just B. I like normal Venusaur
Okay.
and Mega Venusaur about as much as I like Bulbasaur. They're solid, right? But the Ivysaur gets the jump up. I really like Ivysaur.
Ivysaur is cool.
Yeah.
Definitely the coolest of the three. In fact, I'm going to move my Ivysaur ahead of Bulbasaur.
Ooh.
Get up there.
Oh yeah, you know what? That does matter. Venusaur's gonna go in front of Bulbasaur. Sorry, Bulba. All right, moving on to the Charmander line. Got any love for Charmander? I know a lot of people love this line. Probably the most
Charmander?
loved line in all of Pokemon.
Yeah, don't even get me started on the X and Y different things. Oh my god.
We'll get there. We shall get there.
This guy. Oh man, freaking way to Anyway, yeah. Charmander, cool Pokemon. I loved fire as a kid. I was a little bit of a pyro, not gonna lie. I definitely I was that kid that took hairspray and a lighter and made a flamethrower. So it always touched me, you know?
Sure.
Definitely an easy A tier.
Did you yell char while doing it too? Just char! Okay, so what tier? What do you think a Charmander gets?
I'm going A.
Going A. Okay. So, let me think. I think I'm going to join you on A tier with Charmander. And I'm going to jump ahead here and tell you my Charmeleon and my Charizard. I think Charmeleon is probably a B,
I was just going to say my Charmander is a B. Actually.
Charmander is a B. Okay.
Yeah.
I love the innocence of Charmander. I think he's like one of the most perfect looking Pokemon, you know? He's just like, this is a animal that has turned into superpowers, you know? Fire lizard. So that's cool. Charmeleon, I appreciate his like, you know, kind of rough and tough attitude, kind of like a teenager, angsty teenager.
Right.
But I just don't love him as much as Charmander. And my Charizard is actually going to go in front of Charmander. I do really like a Charizard, and I think it's a staple A tier Pokemon for sure.
So my Charizard is going to be an A tier, but my Charmeleon is going in front of Charizard in A tier.
Got ourselves a Charmeleon lover.
The reason that I explained that I liked Charmander and Charizard and all that is just it feels like a kid having fun with fire, you know?
Sure.
That's the vibe I get from this Charmeleon. He's like a teenager, man. He's a punk kid. You know, I mean,
so your Charmeleon is using that aerosol spray and
100%.
And shooting flamethrowers.
My Charmeleon, like when I turn my head, he's lighting something on fire and then walking away and be like, "Oh, it wasn't me."
Okay, I can respect that. Cool. Okay. Well, now this is the Giga Charizard. Yep. I do think it looks
fiery.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it a C tier, but it's a Giga, and I just don't like Gigas. It's okay. Yeah, I'll give it a C. All right. Do you want to start talking about X and Y forms, or should I start talking about the X and Y forms? Because I got a bone.
You can start.
Okay, I got a bone to pick with having two forms of Charizard. Now, don't get me wrong; they both look great.
BS.
They both look great, but I'm a Blastoise trainer. Blastoise, and we'll get the Blastoise, and you guys will see. Spoiler alert, it might be S, but we'll see. But it pisses me off to no end. It literally, you know, I don't things I can't say on YouTube or shouldn't say on YouTube. But it really ruffles my feathers to have two forms of Charizard when Blastoise and Venusaur only got one Mega. What's up with that? It really drives me nuts that they caved to basically the fandom here with the Charizards, and you know everyone was making that joke of like, oh, Charizard's a dragon. No, it's not a dragon. It's a fire flying. Oh, but it's totally a dragon. And then they just went and gave him a dragon form, which was fine. But then they also gave him the Charizard Y form. So I don't know about you, man. Actually, I do know that this bothers you as well. Where's our second form for Blastoise, and where's our second form for Venusaur? You know what I mean?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I think it's total BS, and yeah.
Rage. Let us know how you guys feel in the comments, because rage is all I want to type. But on that, I'm gonna be giving. I'll try to ignore that issue I have when rating just these
X is
Pokemon.
the black one, right?
X is the black one, and it's Flying Dragon. I'm gonna give it B tier because let's be real, it looks cool. Although I
I'm gonna
do
give it
think the
A
fire
tier.
out of its mouth is a little goofy because it's always there. It's
Right.
always there, and that's a little
I'm,
weird.
I'm no, I'm gonna give them both B tier, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a B tier. However, Charizard Y I really like, and I actually like it more than normal Charmander or Charizard. I think
Really?
that is the perfect, like, that is Charizard Mega, right? Like they did that so well. And I think the X looks cool, but it doesn't look anything like Charizard. It looks like a shiny Charizard, which is black. But like, that's it. It's just kind of, it doesn't fit as well as Charizard Y does. And I think Charizard Y looks good. Competitively, it's great. And it's just awesome. Yeah. Currently
Yeah,
top of
for
my
sure.
tier list right now. That's my number one. For now. For now. All right.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah, moving on to Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise, as well as Giga Blastoise, which I'm just going to skip ahead and drop that thing in D tier. It can be above Venusaur, though, but I don't like that thing. It's dumb. So ignoring the Gigamax.
I will also do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start out by just putting Squirtle as an A tier. In fact, I'm gonna put him right behind Charmeleon, number 2
Okay.
on my A tier list.
Solid. Let's I got a lot to say about Blastoise, so let's roll through yours. Where's your Wartortle and your
Wartortle is right
Blastoise?
behind Squirtle, ahead of Charizard actually.
Okay, so you like Wartortle.
And then Blastoise is A tier again. All three of them are A tier, but Blastoise is right behind Charizard.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then Mega, I'm not the biggest fan of the Mega, honestly. I
I'm
think
not
it
either.
deserves the C tier.
I think it
It
looks
drops
a
quite a
little
ways down.
silly. I've always thought it looked
Me
a little
too.
silly.
It
Yeah.
looks like something bioengineered by Team Rocket.
It does. It does. I'm actually going to put it in B tier behind Mega Charizard X. I don't like the Mega Blastoise that much. However, like I said a little bit earlier, Blastoise is my boy. He's my starter. He will always and forever be the first Pokemon I picked. But you know how I said in S tier we can only have one of each form?
Yeah.
Squirtle, man. Squirtle's S
Squirrel
tier.
Squad.
Squirtle is S tier. Blastoise and Wartortle, great. I'm actually going to give Wartortle probably a B, and I'm going to give Blastoise top of A tier. Wartortle always looked a little weird to me. He doesn't really, like, his tail and his feathery looking ears don't really fit in too much with Squirtle and Blastoise. Like, they just kind of appear and then they disappear when he evolves. I always thought that
Right,
was kind
yeah.
of weird. He looks okay. Like, I've grown to love him, but he's always just kind of, he's odd, and I don't like him as much. In fact, I'm going to put Charmeleon in front of him. Because I just like Charmeleon and Ivysaur a little bit better than Wartortle. But Squirtle, man, yeah, Squirtle squad. I mean, I made my little J72 mascot here have shades specifically to be the Sauropod version of the Squirtle squad. So yeah, man, Squirtle is OG, man. He is on my team of 6 for sure, no doubt in my mind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, well that got through the starters. Now that we've made a bunch of angry fans by rating them different ways, let's move on to the bugs of the Pokemon world. We've got Caterpie, Metapod, Giga Butterfree, and then male and female Butterfree, it looks like.
Caterpie, like, I'm sorry, man. You gotta be a D tier.
Ooh,
Get the hell out of here. I don't want you. I never wanted you. And this is gonna sound really strange and doesn't make any fucking sense to anybody.
okay.
Or any freaking sense to anybody. But I only want you to evolve once. Because
Ooh.
for some reason I love you, and Metapod, you're going up to B tier.
B tier Metapod. I mean, Metapod's got the memes, right? Like everybody loves Metapod.
Yeah.
I'm gonna join you with B tier. I'm gonna put Metapod up in B tier, but he's gonna be at the end. I think he's behind all
Yeah,
the
he's at the
starters.
very end.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
Caterpie, I'm also gonna put up B. I don't mind Caterpie as much.
I don't like Caterpie.
The thing about Caterpie is very nostalgic in the sense of he's like Ash's first caught Pokemon. So like back in the day, watching the anime growing up, he gets Pikachu, then he goes out there and catches a little Caterpie. And was that his first, or was it actually Pidgeotto? I don't remember. But regardless, it's one of his first Pokemon ever, and so I always remember like a little Caterpie.
Caterpie?
Mm-hmm.
That was his first Pokemon?
It was either that or Pidgeotto. I'm not 100% sure. I think
threw a
it
Pokeball
was.
to Pidgeotto, and then they all chased him, right?
And that was Sparrow.
That was a Sparrow,
That was
you're
Sparrow,
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah, moving on.
yeah,
Uh,
lot of
Giga,
Pokemon.
Giga, I'm putting down in D. Actually, I'll put this one in C. I think it looks okay, but it's still a Giga. It's kind of
And then
lame.
male and female. What's the difference between a male and female? Like, I don't know.
I'm not actually sure.
One's a male, one's a female. I'm actually gonna only
Yeah.
stick that in C tier. Not the biggest fan.
So I'm actually gonna do something a little bit odd. I used to call my Butterfree my secret weapon because back in the day in it was specifically red and blue. You could move them over into Pokemon Stadium, right, on the N64. And I had
Right.
a Butterfree that I had trained when I believe, I could be wrong. It's hard to remember every Pokemon team I've ever had, but I'm pretty darn confident that my very first team ever when I played Pokemon, it had that Squirtle into a Blastoise, but I think it also kept the Butterfree the entire way through. So I'm gonna put the Butterfrees up at A. They're at the back, but I do really like Butterfree. I think it's not a strong Pokemon, but I really like the design of it. I think it's a really good Pokemon overall.
I got you.
Yeah.
Are they shinies? Is that not male and female, but the one's a shiny?
No, because then it would have shinies for every single Pokemon here.
I know, but I'm looking and
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just have them side by side.
some of them seem.
Or I even, you
Yeah, I
know
don't
what?
know.
I might just pull this guy down, throw him in Johto somewhere, hide the extra form down there. Get to him
Fair
never.
All right.
All right, Weedles. Weedle Kakuna, Beedrill, and Mega Beedrill. I'll start off here. I think Weedle is kind of boring, not going to lie. I'm going to put him in C, kind of in front of, I don't know, in front of the Butterfree. I also think Kakuna's kind of lame. He's kind of whatever. The Metapod has the memes, so Kakuna kind of has the memes with Metapod, but is overshadowed by it, so it's like, nobody really cares about Kakuna. Beedrill, however, I think Beedrill is an A-tier Pokemon for sure. That's a very well-designed Pokemon, and the Mega Form can go right in front of it. I like it just as much, but Butterfree's cooler. I got a special place for Butterfree, and I think it's a little bit cooler than the Beedrill. What about you?
Kakuna first off is D tier. In fact, it's back the list behind the Giga evolutions.
Ooh, okay.
The only thing it's beating is Weedle. Uh,
Poor Weedle. Actually, while I think about it, I think I'm gonna drop down Beedrill to
sorry. The only thing
B.
it's beating is Caterpie. I meant. Weedle, however, is going up to B tier, right in front of Kakuna, or
Okay.
right in front of Metapod. Oh man, I get those confused every freaking time. I swear to God.
They're very,
Ugh.
very forgettable Pokemon, and you only
But
have them for
no,
like 2 levels before they evolve.
I
So.
actually really like Weedle.
Okay.
I really do. I probably for the same reasons you like Caterpie. I mean, Beedrill, I think he's a solid B. In fact, I'm going to put him at the second spot, ahead of Bulbasaur and Charmander, but behind Ivysaur
Okay.
for my B. And Mega, he's a solid A.
Mega's
I'm
cool.
going to put him at the end of the list.
Yeah, Mega's cool. I did
He is
move.
cool.
Like I said, I moved mine down to B tier. I second guessed it. Beedrill's cool, but I don't think he's A tier. We got a lot of cool Pokemon coming up that can't be in my top 6. So
Oh yeah, we still got like
yeah,
200
A
Pokemon.
tier. I got 150 total.
Well, all
Well,
the
yeah, I guess the
X and
forms.
Ys, the Megas.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
mean, shoot.
Yeah. All right, dude.
All right.
I know. I'm gonna let you
I
take it
want-
away with this one because I know you
I
love
w-
this guy.
All right. Never mind then. I was gonna say I'll let you start, but this is easy, man.
Yeah, this is
I'm
all you.
gonna go with Pidgey. Solid freaking front of my B tier list.
Okay.
Pidgey is amazing.
Pidgey
Love
is.
Pidgey.
Pidgey's great.
Pidgey is just Pidgey though. Pidgeotto's front of my A tier list. If I
Okay.
can get freaking Charmeleon to go there. All right, there you go. You're bumped back. Sorry, buddy. I love you, Charmeleon, but Pidgeot, my first S, easily.
Okay.
Easily. If I had any one Pokemon in real life, I would be cruising around on a Pidgeot. Easily. I mean, come on, let's be real. How cool is this Pokemon?
It is very
I understand Pidgeot's not the strongest Pokemon, but like not bad. You know?
cool.
And the
Leaving
Mega,
Pidgeot is probably Ash's biggest sin.
yes,
Period.
I agree.
Like
And
what?
the second spot on A tier is gonna be the Mega.
The Mega. Okay. So my respect follows that as well. I don't have Pidgeot in S tier, but I do have it in A tier, and I'm gonna have it right behind Blastoise, but in front of everything else. I agree. Pidgeot is fantastic. I have trained a bajillion of them. Out of all my friends, when I talk about favorite Pokemon, you and I share that common love of Pidgeot. And yeah, and for Pidgey, I think Pidgey's gonna go probably right behind Wartortle in front of the Beedrills, and Pidgeotto's gonna hang out probably right behind Pidgey. right in front. It actually doesn't really matter. Those two are interchangeable. I like both of them. And then the Mega can hang out with actual Pidgeot. Mega Pidgeot's pretty dang cool.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Time to the top percentage Rattata themselves. Well, first, I guess we got to go to a Alolan Rattata. What's your take on the Alolan Rattatas? The dark forms.
The dark form is the same color as a shiny, isn't it?
Don't
they turn black when they're shiny too?
No, they turn tan.
You're right, they
Yeah,
do turn tan.
That's actually side story tangent here. We don't have too much time for too many tangents, but this one's important, I think. Do you remember that time when we were playing?
Yes, this is the reason I'm about to put Rattatas as A tier.
Okay. We were all playing, I think it was 3D Pokemon, or some sort of modded
3D,
Pokemon,
yeah.
Pokemon 3D, yeah. We're playing with Al's brother, and Al's brother straight up says to us, he goes, "Guys, I think my game's broken. My Rattata's tan, or my Rattata's brown." And he's like, "What's going on with that? Like, what?" And we're like, "What?" You know, like just got a dead stop.
I ran into his room to see it.
Yeah, like dead stop. Or, excuse me, what are you talking about? He had no idea that he had caught a shiny, which was just hilarious to us. It was good times. But yeah, let's. I'm gonna do Rattata pretty quick here. Rattata is kind of okay. I don't really like the Alolan form, so I'm actually gonna drop him kind of at the back of C. To be honest, I don't think he's D tier, but he's kind of C or whatever. Rattata's gonna get B. He's just a Rattata, but like he's got all the memes, right? He's like top percentage Rattata with youngster Joey, so like that's that's fun. And I don't know why there's two. I'm gonna throw the second one down below so we don't see him. And then the Raticates. So I'm a big fan of normal Raticate. I think it actually is way stronger than a lot of people like expect. They're really good in playthroughs, but they're just not that exciting. So he's gonna sit probably C tier. Same with the dark one. They're both.
I put Rattata up second spot in A tier, right behind Pidgeot, or right behind Pidgeotto.
It's a high rating for some Rattatas.
I really respect Rattata.
Okay.
I think he's a feisty little rat.
He is feisty.
Like him, and it's got a really funny story behind it that just makes me love Pokemon.
Okay.
Everybody else in his evolutionary chain goes in D.
Okay. I think that's respectable. I do have him a little bit higher for kind of the same reasons, just not that high.
Yeah, no, I feel it.
Okay. Well, hey, someone I might have a little bit higher than you is Sparrow. I actually really enjoy Sparrow, and I like him pretty much as Pidgeot, but just like down a step, you know? So I'm going to put Sparrow right behind Pidgeotto and in front of Beedrill. And Pharaoh, I am going to put probably in front of Pidgey, but he's not A tier. They're all B tier. I don't think he's an A tier Pokemon, but I do really like Pharaoh.
I think I'm going to stick them both in C. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't think they are honestly that useful. I think they're decent at early to mid game. Late game, I'm never going to keep one.
Yeah, that's fair. That is
fair. I mean, and that's the struggle with a lot of Pokemon that only evolve once.
True.
I mean, a lot of them are like that.
True. Yeah. That is unfortunate for them, for sure.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like looking at this and second guessing. I'm moving Pidgey up, but Pharaoh's in front of Pidgeotto. But I look at Pidgey, I'm like, I gotta respect you, Pidgey. You're great. All right, the Ekans and Charmander. What do you think about the snakes?
Love and Ekans, solid mid B tier.
That's respectable.
Towards the front of C tier.
Ooh, you like Ekans more than
he evolves,
Arbok?
and I like him less. Yep.
Okay. So I'm flipped that. Ekans is all right. I'm gonna put Ekans probably front of C tier. But I actually really like Arbok. I'm debating right now if I should put him in back of A or front of B. But I'm looking at the A tier Pokemon, and they're all special to me in a specific way. So I think front of B tier for Arbok. But I do like him more than Charmeleon and Wartortle and Pidgey and all of them. Like Charbok is awesome. And I just realized I called him I end up calling him Charbok more than Arbok. The same thing. It's Charbok. All right, now we got to talk about the fat Pikachu, Giga Pikachu. So this Giga form, I know you didn't play Galar, so you haven't seen any of these Giga forms recently, but the interesting thing about this Giga form Pikachu that I actually do appreciate a little bit, again, I hate Giga forms, but they made it fat Pikachu, which is he's basically looks like the original sprite Pikachu used to be in Red and Blue. Pikachu had some weight on him. He was chubby back in the day. And if you actually look
Yeah.
through a timeline of
I
Pikachu,
I
he slims down as the years go on.
I've seen the original cards.
Yeah.
I know how fat he was.
Yeah. So they made Fat Pikachu, Fat Chew
Cool.
here as the Giga form, which actually, because it's kind of a joke, makes me like it a little bit better. But it's still going D tier behind, like, I don't know, behind Kakuna, honestly, because it's kind
I
of dumb.
respect him. I'm gonna stick him at the front of D tier.
Okay, still in D tier. Now
Get rid of one
Pikachu.
of these.
What's your opinion on Pikachu, the mascot Pokemon?
Pikachu. I think that Pikachu is highly overrated. I don't think I think Pikachu can be very strong. I think that 99% of players do not play Pikachu correctly, and I think Pikachu is the front of my C ahead
Mm,
of Venusaur.
okay, some bold words, putting the mascot down in C, but I kind of agree, but I'm gonna put him up in B because he's very noteworthy as just like the mascot. I'm probably gonna put him kind of near Bulbasaur. Like I kind of just respect both of them, kind of the
Okay.
same. I might even throw Venusaur above Bulbasaur. I don't know. I'm constantly moving my tiers around. But yeah,
Right.
Pikachu's all right. But the thing I love about Pikachu is Raichu. I'm a huge Raichu fan. Like not as big as our friend Patrick. He would for sure put Raichu in his six. I don't love it that high. But I think Raichu kind of gets shafted in the Pokemon world because Pikachu is so loved. We never see Raichu. Like think of the game Pokemon Unite that you and I have both played. Pikachu's in it, but there's no Raichu. But Raichu would be perfect for that game, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give Raichu top of B, just behind Arbok. I do really like him, a lot more than Pikachu. And as far as the Alolan one goes, I don't know. It's kind of okay. I'm gonna put that one down in C. Not the biggest fan of the surfing one.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah. You know?
It's just a yeah.
C. I'm going with C. C for C for the surfing one. Let me get rid of that second Raichu. Get the hell out of here. And Raichu is actually going to go ahead of Pikachu in C. They're all going in C for me, but Raichu will be the farthest ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a good Pokemon.
Yeah, I can respect some Raichu.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
What about the Sandshrews? I feel like, am I correct in thinking that you have a fondness for some Sandshrew?
I do like a good Sandshrew. Sandshrew is one of the few Pokemon that I have caught a shiny version of.
Mm.
And that boosted up for me.
That does
Um,
boost up loves.
and I just cannot put him in A. I can't put him in A, but he will be right behind Pidgey in B tier.
A respectable B position. I feel like high B tier is going to be a lot of Pokemon that are like really
Yeah,
cool, but they're not like the
they're not
coolies. You
A.
know,
Yeah,
I mean they're B tier. Yeah, describes B tier. I like Sandshrew, but he's kind of down here with Ekans for me, to be honest. You know, they're kind of in the same place in the game, and coolness is kind of the same. So yeah, I'm gonna slap him down here in C tier behind Ekans. Same with the Ice one. I never really cared too much for the Ice one. So I'll probably add all those there. Sandslash, however, I think Sandslash is a really cool idea of a Pokemon, and I would love to see a Mega Sandslash. So because of that, he's gonna go up in B. I think he's a solid B tier Pokemon. Probably behind Beedrill. Nah,
I
behind
am
yeah,
not the
Bulbasaur.
biggest fan of Sandslash.
Really?
I mean, he's not bad, but I'm going to put him at the end of B.
Okay. Yeah, that's about where I had him, more or less.
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right, on to the Nidorans, which
Oh, that's
I
fun.
have a very strong affinity for.
Yes, you
The
do.
female ones, we'll start with them. They're okay. Nido Queen I think is very cool, so I'm gonna slap her up in B tier, probably hanging out maybe just behind the Bulbasaur and Venusaur, and I'll have it just in front of where I put Sandslash. And then Nidorina and Nidorino are kind of whatever. If I'm honest, I'll put them in C tier. What's your opinions on the female Nidos or Nidas?
The females are alright. I mean, in all reality, I don't like any of them nearly as much as you. But just straight up, I think that they are very strong Pokemon, male and female.
Yeah,
And
competitive
and
wise, they're
I
great.
yeah, and I think competitive wise, if I'm looking at strictly like that, and if I'm looking at my chances of using them, they're all somewhere in the B tier. I don't know where I would put them, but none of them are down to C. I just don't think any of them are A. Possibly the male final evolution, maybe,
Okay.
but yeah, maybe I'll put it in A. I'm gonna put it in A, but it's gonna be at the back. All the rest are going in B for me,
Okay.
and, and they're gonna go like somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Okay. Well, let me describe my love here for the Nidoran male line because I have said this over and over again to some folks throughout time, right? If Pokemon was real, and I know I've told you this, but I'll tell the folks here. If Pokemon was real and I was growing up in a world where Pokemon existed, I think it is highly likely, almost confirmed in a way that I would go out to my backyard, and in my backyard I lived right up against a wildlife refuge, and so there's tons of coyotes and um, like vultures and all sorts of like kind of more wild animals than you would normally see in a backyard. But because of that, we had a ton of bunnies, and I think in a real life like equivalent to where I lived, there would be Nidorans running all over the place. So I have always had a huge love of Nidoran because of that. And Nidoran, the original little guy, I love. He is straight up an A tier. He is one of my, if not my favorite, little basic Pokemon that isn't a starter Pokemon. In fact, I'm going to put him up here right behind Blastoise. Nidoking, and I'm going to skip over Nidorino for a reason. Nidoking is equally as cool, but goes just behind him in front of Pidgeot. I love Nidoking, and Nidoking was my original favorite Pokemon besides Blastoise growing up. Only surpassed by Crocodile once Gen 5 came out. However,
Crocodile was all the way to Gen 5.
mm-hmm,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So Nidoking was my favorite growing up. But really, I say that I mean the Nidoking line, like all three of them, because my absolute favorite from those three is Nidorino, and he's going up in S tier, man. He's in my six.
Really?
Nidorino, I don't know what it is. It's the odd Pokemon that doesn't really make sense to anybody. That for me is like just the perfect little homie. That he looks cool, and I think a big reason for this is the intro to Pokemon. The very first Pokemon you ever see if you turn on that game. If you have never seen Pokemon before in your life and you turn that game on, do you know which two Pokemon you see? You remember?
Nidorino and a Zubat.
No, Nidorino and a Gengar.
Gengar, really?
Nidorino and Gengar are duking it out at the starting intro animation for Red
Huh.
and Blue. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So he's great. I love me a Nidorino. He's on the team.
All right. All right. Well, shoot. What do we got next?
Next, we got the fluff balls themselves, Clefairy and Clefable, the Moonstone Pokemon. What's your
Clefairy and Clefable.
yeah? What's your thought on them?
I'm not a big Clefable fan, if I'm honest. But not a bad fighter.
They're
I
pretty strong, to be honest.
Yeah,
Clefable,
I'm gonna put them.
it's hard.
I'm gonna put Yo, no, 100%. I'm gonna put them somewhere above the entire Nidorino line in B tier, just
Okay,
above. Clefairy, however, I'm going A tier. The back of my A tier line, but I'm going A tier.
okay. Why's that?
I I have always thought that Clefairy is first off like its evolution, very strong Pokemon can be incredibly strong. Not as strong, which we know it actually a little weaker, but there's something about it that is just this underestimation, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's you throw it out and people are like, oh, it's a freaking fairy. Like, I mean, it's a fairy before fairies. You know? I mean, it's uh it's just I don't know, it's underestimated and you don't expect it to be good, and it's just a fantastic Pokemon. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can respect all that. I do really enjoy the old anime episodes with Clefairy and how they were all mysterious with like the moonstones and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can definitely respect them. I think for me, they're just kind of floating in the middle. I'm gonna put probably Clefairy down here, behind Ekans and C tier. But Clefable can he can hang out in B. I like Clefable. Put him right behind Pikachu and in front of the annoying Charizard X. Solid, solid on that one. Okay, now we got Vulpixes and the Ninetales. So Vulpix is interesting in the sense that he's always overshadowed for me personally by Arcanine. And I don't know if you're the same, but because of that, that kind of is the sole reason why Vulpix is just like not as cool. It's like it's a fire canine, but it's not the fire canine. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel with him.
I'm different, and what I think it comes down to, I'm the exact opposite of what you just said.
Okay.
Is in high school or in middle school, I guess, era. I'd go to the skate park with friends. I wore Van shoes, had blonde highlights. Moody type kid. I was a skater kid, right?
He was a
I had my
skater
skateboard.
boy.
Pretty much. I had my skateboard. I had my BMX bike. I fell who knows how many times. I rode my bike to school every day. All that crap.
Sure.
One of the things about being a skater, it just came with it, is you had to be the rebel. You had to be different. And I specifically remember exactly what you just said, and I was like, well, I feel the opposite. And over the years, it just kind of grew a love for him, and I love Vulpix.
Okay.
I really do.
So where are you dropping him?
That's a high B tier.
Okay, respectable.
Honest to God, like maybe number 4 in my B tier.
Okay. I also have both of them in B tier.
Though, to right below. Okay.
Yeah, but they're sitting behind the Mega Blastoise and in front of the Caterpie and the Rattata. There's like Rattata's cool, but like I don't know, not as cool as a Vulpix.
I think Ninetales is gonna be back in my B tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like Vulpix more than Ninetales?
Oh yeah, 1,000 times.
Okay.
100 times.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Vulpix is actually really cool. I like the Pokemon.
Right on.
I'm gonna start this next one. I hate Jigglypuff, always have. Hated Jigglypuff in the show, hated Jigglypuff in the cards, hated Jigglypuff in every freaking thing that I had, even those like flippy coins that we got from McDonald's in like 1996.
What about Smash though? You don't like
And I was just about to say, and I cannot stand when I get freaking put to sleep in goddamn Smash. So Jigglypuff, you're going at the back of my D tier list along with you, Wigglytuff.
The hate pick.
I hate both of them.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't
really
put them that low, but I don't have any fondness for them. They're kind of hanging out with Clefable, to be honest, or Clefairy. I do like Wigglytuff more than Jigglypuff, though.
I just moved Wigglytuff up to C.
Yeah,
Jigglypuff is definitely a D.
We also we skipped over. What do you think of the new Alolan Ninetales?
Interesting.
Yeah. They're Ice Fairy, I think.
Probably a BC-ish area.
Yeah, I actually like them a lot less than the originals.
Really?
I do. Yeah. They just don't appeal to me. I know competitively, like, they're really strong, right? Like, using them for ice and fairy moves is pretty cool. But yeah, visually, they're kind of like whatever, to be honest. I'm going to drop them behind Raticate, if I'm honest. I like Raticate more. So they're just gonna hang out over there. But that's cool. I didn't know you liked Vulpix that much. Cool to know.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have Zubat and Golbat. And
Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Zubat is going to be A tier for you. Golbat is going to be a very high B tier.
I got a clap for that one. You nailed it. 100%. Zubat is up in front of Pidgeot. Sorry, Pidgeot.
Oh, and if Crobat was here, it would be an S tier.
Crobat would 100% be an S tier. I love Crobat. You guys might notice there's actually a trend of poison types that I really end up liking a lot of poison types, which wasn't on purpose. It wasn't planned. I just kind of like started liking all the Pokemon. I looked back and I was like, hey, I'm kind of a poison trainer. Who knew? But yeah, Zubat is meme worthy. He is like, I mean, it's really just meme worthy, right? They're everywhere. They're hilarious. And because of that, there's really risen up through the ranks of my love, so to speak. But yeah, like you mentioned, Crobat would 100% be my S tier. Crobat is the #1 Pokemon that, say you and I were real Pokemon trainers and we didn't know what Pokemon we each had. And we said like, hey, let's battle. Crobat is the first one I send out every time, no matter what. He is my lead. I can trust him to be faster than almost everything out there. He can U-turn out. He's got way more HP than he should. I could talk for hours about Crobat. Crobat is fantastic.
I've heard it for days.
Crobat is great. Fortunately, he's not Gen 1, so he's not on the list. I did think about making Zubat one of my 6, but to be honest, I just don't like Zubat that much. I love him, but just not not as much as
Zubat,
the other ones.
Zubat is currently my sixth highest rated one. It's my number 5 in A tier, and
Hey,
I only have one S
respect
tier. So
that.
he's a good
Respect that.
Pokemon, and I also agree with Golbat being B tier.
Yeah, Golbat is hilarious. Like rocking back and forth with his giant tongue, like he's hilarious, you know?
No, he's crazy.
He's definitely crazy, yeah. Right on. And then the extra forms here, we don't need. I'm just gonna throw them down.
Yeah, I
with
dumped him down below.
dump them all the way down with the unknowns and Johto.
Yep.
All right.
I
Who
just
do we
gotta
have
scroll down
next?
until I see the unknowns and drop them in.
Yeah, totally. All right, next up we
Oddish.
have Oddish. What do you think about Oddish?
I personally don't like Oddish very much.
I'm kind of with you. Don't really care.
The one move that I think the Oddish really has is Sleep Powder. And
Yeah,
that
like they've
annoys
got
me
all the.
facing him, but like I don't really care about the rest. Don't really care about him as a Pokemon. Um, I'm actually gonna stick him at number 2 in D tier. Not a
Okay.
fan.
Okay. So I think you and I'm gonna assume here. I'm looking ahead at the Paris and the Venonat as well. I'm gonna kind of group all of these guys together because honestly,
Yeah, they're all kind of down in C D.
yeah, they're all kind of in the same area. So Oddish, I'm gonna drop probably in front of the Kakuna and Weedles, but behind like the Raticates and stuff. Gloom, I actually kind of don't like Gloom. I'm gonna put him as my first D tier. That's not a Giga.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Gloom's just kind of like it made me chuckle the first time I ever
Gloom
saw
is
it,
also
and
D
then
tier
that
for
was
me,
it. That was it.
But what about Venonat?
Well, hold on. Let me go to Vileplume. So Vileplume, I'm gonna put
Okay.
at the back of B tier simply because I think it deserves a little bit of notoriety simply because it's like bigger and it can actually attack. It's a very good grass type. But I just don't care for it too much. It's very forgettable. Venonat and Venomoth will probably be a little bit higher than these other ones simply because I really like the lore behind how Venonat probably should have evolved into Butterfree, and Caterpie and Metapod probably should have evolved into Venomoth. If you look at like all the features and stuff, there's YouTube videos out there.
Yeah,
You can
see
find
that.
them. Yeah, they're people think that they got swapped in the original Pokemon game, and Game Freak just kind of was like, "Oops," and just stuck with it the entire time. They've never fixed it.
That.
Yeah, and then Paris is also down with Oddish. I just like don't care too much about Paris.
I stuck Venonat and Venomoth both in C tier, but Venonat is actually my 4th highest C tier.
Okay.
Yeah, out of everybody we just mentioned, easily the top.
Same. He's bottom of B, but Venonat's the coolest out of all of those. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, let's talk about Diglett Dig. Diglett Dig, Diglett Dig. Trio. Yeah, looks like we've got normal Diglett and we've got the Alolan Diglets. So
I got rid of the Alolan ones. I dropped them down.
You dropped them down. I'm gonna throw them in D tier because honestly, I really don't like what they did with Alolan Dugtrio. If you look into the lore of why it's got the Fabio hair, it's supposed to be kind of like type of lava that flows like angel hair or something like that. But it just looks dumb, man. Like there's Pokemon that you can change to be funny, and then there's Pokemon that you just change and look stupid. And putting hair on Diglett never needed to be done.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So those are easily D tier. Actual Diglett though and actual Dugtrio are awesome. I think they are very, very unique Pokemon, and honestly, I'm gonna put them up behind Pidgeotto. I like them more than Venusaur. Yeah, they're awesome. And Dugtrio specifically, you know what? I'm actually gonna add Dugtrio to A tier. He's gonna sit behind Butterfree as another A tier.
Dugtrio is actually gonna be my right behind. Oh God, these ones fell below. I gotta move stuff around. He's an A tier. I accidentally let Squirtle slip back.
Squirtle,
move him back up to number 2.
Dude, Squirtle's still my number 1. Although, to be honest,
Pidgeotto is my number 1 in A.
Yeah, I gotta put Nidorino in front of Squirtle. Sorry, Squirtle.
And then Diglett, he's a solid B tier.
Oh, yeah, that's where I put him. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
What the hell are some of these things?
Yeah, you're looking at the long boy Meowth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Giga form. It's
oh my god.
Yeah. Dude, Game Freak have done some weird stuff recently.
I'm putting them in right now.
I'm gonna put Long Cat at the back of C only because it is kind of funny that it's. I mean, have you seen the meme with the Long Cat of the person holding up their actual cat and it's just like looks really, really long? It's it was an internet meme like I don't know 5 years ago or something like that. I'll show it to you after this.
So a Game Freak just went with it.
Yeah, they're just like, let's make Meowth Long cat. So silly.
Oh God.
Yeah, so I don't care too much about that. Meowth, however, I really, really, really like Meowth, only because of Team Rocket Meowth. Simply put, Meowth is one of the best characters in the anime, along with James. James and Meowth's banter together carry the entire series. They're so funny, and the
Meowth
backstory.
is great.
Yeah,
James is amazing.
yeah. Well, yeah, James takes number one. I would agree with that. But the Meowth backstory is really cool, and I really like the quote that he has talking to um, the other Meowth at the end of the very first Pokemon movie. Can you imagine it?
I no, I 100%. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know the quote.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know word for word, but it was a touching speech, and it was like it was amazing.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I think word. I don't know word for word, but it was something like if we spend more time looking at what we have in common instead of
seeing our
what we have
differences.
different, who knows what the world could be after that.
Mhm.
So yeah, he gets bottom of A tier for me. I'm putting him up as an A tier Pokemon simply because of that.
I put him C tier, because I want to judge him as a Meowth, not as the specific Meowth.
That's fair. That's fair.
As a mouth in general, I'm putting him C tier. If I have to choose that specific Meowth, he would be A tier.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I'm gonna keep mine up at A tier for the list.
So what's this fuzzy thing? Is that supposed to be a mega?
What's the fuzzy one? Those are the
Don't say Alola.
it is Alolan. It's the
Why is
Alola.
Alola always so stupid?
Dude, Alola had some
Oh my
hilarious. Wait
god.
till we get to Executor. It's bonkers. But yeah, they're dark type and steel, I think. Maybe it's steel normal. I don't remember exactly, but um, yeah, they're interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Honestly, they're gonna drop. I'm probably gonna put normal Meowth a D tier. I like really don't like the design, but the big fluffy one where he's like running at you and jumping or whatever, he's got kind of like a primate attitude where he's like just crazy or whatever. So I like it a little bit more. It can sit in front of Long Cat for me, but it's just like whatever.
Okay.
And then Persian, I really hate the Alolan Persian. Honestly,
I
the
think it looks
worst.
like a stupid
It's the
face.
worst Pokemon on my list right now. Back in D tier. I really don't like it. It looks stupid. It's not that different from a normal Persian. Like, why bother changing it? And I don't know. I think it's dumb. Normal Persian though, back in B tier. It's all right. It's just kind of a cat.
I'm gonna stick it in
It's all right.
C. I'm gonna stick it towards the end of C actually.
Actually, I think I'm gonna agree with you.
And the only
I'm looking
reason
at
that it's yeah, the only
yeah.
reason it's staying in C is I can't help but to get the leader of Team Rocket's
Mm,
version out of my mind.
just like smugly licking its paw.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Just kind of chilling there.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, you're not a D.
Moved mine to the back of Raticate, because that's kind of been my judge of Pokemon. As I look at C tier, I'm like, do I like Raticate more than it? And if the answer is no, then yeah, it
I moved him right
goes there.
behind Gloom.
Okay. Okay.
Psyduck.
Psyduck and Golduck. Yeah. Do you have a love for these?
I can't stand Psyduck.
Just can't stand them. Like
Uh,
D tier can't
but I,
stand them.
I don't think he's D tier. I think he's back of C tier. However, Golduck I think is a solid Pokemon. Underestimated. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where he only evolves once and he's just not good enough to be endgame
Yeah.
material. So he's gonna be somewhere in my mid B tiers.
Golduck is a Pokemon I think sorely deserves a Mega. Mega Golduck would have been
Yes. That would
sick.
be
That would
amazing.
like actually get like a full fledged like psychic stat boost or something. That'd be really cool.
That would have been very, very cool, and I think he's very deserving of it too,
Yeah.
personally. Think about how many people like if you ask somebody who kind of likes Pokemon to name some Pokemon, they have like maybe Charizard, everybody has Pikachu. Dude, Psyduck is up on the list of like Pokemon that people know.
It's true.
Just straight up.
Because of Misty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm gonna give Psyduck I like him. He's B tier. He's gonna hang out by Sandslash. I'm gonna put him in front of Pikachu though. I do like him more than Pikachu. Pikachu's kind of like Pikachu and B tier is like another gauge for me, like Raticate and C tier. It's like, do I like him more or less than Pikachu?
Okay.
Golduck, however, I'm actually gonna put him pretty high in B tier. I don't like him a whole lot, but I like you are saying, think he has a lot of potential, and because of that, should be pretty high up.
Yeah, he's my sixth highest in B tier. Like he's up there.
Okay, yeah, I have him in front of Sparrow, but behind Diglett. I do really
Yeah,
like Diglett.
he is behind Golbat, but ahead of Beedrill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respectable places. All right, time
All
for
right.
some monkey business. Mankey and Primate.
Okay, okay.
So for me, these guys are pretty cool, but I'd probably put them probably around B tier. Honestly, they're both kind of like Golduck. I think I'm gonna put them right behind Golduck, both of them. A lot of my experience with Primate is fighting my friend Patrick's Primate, and he is the one Pokemon trainer that I have first the most in my life. I'm also always battling him, and he's always got a Primate, so I'm used to fighting these guys and not actually owning them. But I do think they're cool.
Yeah, Primate, he's somewhere in C. I'm gonna stick him just in front of Gloom. But Mankey, huge fan of Mankey.
Yeah.
He's actually gonna be somewhere middle B.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can appreciate that.
he's actually ahead of Bulbasaur,
Head of they are both ahead of Bulba for me.
and they're both ahead of Charmander for me too, which I know is an unpopular opinion.
Yeah, that's where we placed our Charmander and Charizards are really gonna make or break if people like us.
Oh yeah. Also, Ekans, I gotta move up. Can't let him fall behind. He's got to stay up.
Ekans.
Oh, love that dude.
Ekans is dope. All right, man. So we talked about Vulpix and Ninetales. Well, now we are here with my fire types, Growlithe and Arcanine, and I will just kind of spill the beans. Arcanine is S for me, 100%.
See, I
No
don't
doubt in
think
my
either
mind.
one can be above B for me.
Oh, that hurts my soul.
I know, but I cannot do it. They are mid B. They're mid to high B. They're hanging out with Diglett, but like I don't know, man. Maybe
Okay.
again it's that little bit of rebel in me, but I can't do it.
You're like crossing your arms. It's like, I don't want to like Growlithe and Arcanine.
Yeah, no. Too many people like him, and I'm just like, oh.
Okay. So the way I feel about it is everybody always talks about needing a Charizard. Charizard this, Charizard that, Charizard here. Gotta have a Charizard on the team. Nah, for me, fire type, Arcanine. I don't need a Charizard if I've got an Arcanine. So Arcanine's going
Yeah.
S tier, and then Growlithe is going A tier in front of Charizard.
But my argument for that is, ever since Gen 3, I don't need either of them. I'm
Okay,
just getting, you know.
we'll
I'm
get
just
to
gonna
Gen 3
Blaziken.
if we wanna make those videos. But yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
All right, I want to start this next one because
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Have at it. I know all about
Yeah.
you in this.
So, Poliwag, easily back of A tier.
Okay.
Love Poliwag. It actually beat out Pidgey.
Beat out
Did not
Pidgey.
beat out Pidgeotto though. Poliwhirl. Poliwhirl is actually directly behind Poliwag. I like Poliwag slightly more. And then Poliwrath, my boy. He is going to be number 2 in S tier.
Okay.
Love him. Absolutely love him. I think that they are all a fantastic evolutionary tree. And then they
Dude, I could
kind of
just I could
they
see
kind of
you.
ruined it with a Politoed.
Oh, the Politoed. Yeah.
Oh, we're not gonna talk
Yeah,
about
we'll
him
get
though.
there. That's not in this gen. I can totally see you with the Poliwrath just kind of like chilling next to your car, crossing your arms. The Poliwrath is like there crossing his arms, just like Poly.
100%. Well, and you know how much I love the ocean, man. I went and got a
Mhm.
bachelor's degree in marine biology. Like, I would love to hang out with a Poliwhirl or Poliwrath or
Would
anything. Like, oh,
So I know I've had these conversations with you before. Would you say today that Poliwag is kind of similar to you as Nidoran is to me? Do you think
yes,
Poliwag would have been your
100%.
first starter?
No.
Hmm.
And here's my argument.
Okay.
I'm like I said before, I'm a very impulsive person. I'm gonna get that Pokeball. I'm gonna run outside and I'm gonna catch a Pidgey in the street.
Oh, that's true. Pidgey would be your first.
Pidgey
Okay.
would be my first.
And then you'd use the Pidgey to catch a Poliwag.
Yep, Poliwag would probably be my second because I visit the ocean at least twice a week.
Okay.
If I can,
Okay. Well, I put Poliwag and Poliwhirl side by side in low B tier next to the Vulpix and Ninetales, but in front of Rattata. I do appreciate them. I think they're cool.
Not gonna lie, that kind of hurts.
Well, Poliwrath is third in B tier, just behind Chabak and Raichu. Yeah, I mean, to me, the A tier's got to be super special to me, and I've never really kind of latched on to Poliwrath.
I feel it.
Yeah,
we got our types.
but I respect the hell out of a Poliwrath. You got it, because they're gonna hit you hard. Okay, what's up next? Oh, these guys. Okay, so I have we've been shouting out Patrick every now and then throughout this, just because I've
No,
played so
Pat
much.
loves
Yeah, I've been
him.
playing so much Pokemon over the course of my life with Patrick, who I grew up with, and his favorite Pokemon, I would argue, is Alakazam. I don't think he would be
I
ashamed that
I
I
I
say that.
think yeah,
So
100% I agree.
yeah, so just like Primate, most of my experience with Alakazam is fighting him and fighting him with my personal special attacker, which we will get to. Um, Spoiler alert: I'm wearing it on my shirt, but Al can't see that. um, but yeah, what do you think about
Your
the
special attacker
Kazams?
wearing him on your shirt. Yo, are you wearing your purple Gengar shirt right now?
Maybe, maybe
I know that shirt.
it's a good shirt.
Uh, yeah, I mean, Abra. So first off, Kadabra is the lowest of the three for me.
Okay,
He is. He is top of my C tier actually. I
why we
don't
have
think he's that great.
these female forms.
Yeah, I don't know. I dragged him away. Also, what's this other thing? Is this Mega
That is
with all the
Mega
extra strings?
Alakazam.
I remember Mega
Bunch
Alakazam, and
of
I'm gonna rate him.
bunch of
I'm,
spoons.
I'm actually gonna stick him back of B tier, the Mega.
Okay.
My Abra is directly in front of the Mega, and my Alakazam is probably like he's right in front of B drawer, right behind Golduck for B tier. None of them are A tier for me.
None of them are A tier, really. I
Good
am
Pokemon,
I am
not
putting
A tier.
Alakazam up at A tier. Alakazam is one of the
Okay.
Pokemon that I respect so damn much, but I personally almost never train one. He is going to be the back of A tier for me, but the other guys are just kind of honestly floating around in B tier. I'm going to put Abra probably just in front of Pikachu because I respect the crap out of Abra. Trying to catch one is like a chore,
It's
right?
oh my
That's a
god.
it is a yeah, it is a test of a trainer
Es-
for sure.
Especially
Um,
when you're in an area where it's only like a 1 in 40 chance of even seeing one, then he
yeah,
teleports away 6 times in a row.
yeah, I will agree. Kadabra is lower, so it's going to be towards the end of B tier for me. And I actually
Okay.
really do like Mega Alakazam. I'll probably put him just after Pikachu. We'll sandwich Pikachu with my Abra picks. Yeah, I think it's
All of
funny
mine
when he
beat
gets all
Pikachu
the
and Raichu.
okay.
Yeah.
One thing that helps me love Alakazam a little bit more is one of the few ones I have trained. I named Siddhartha, which is a really cool book that I was forced to read in high school. That was very like makes you think, right? It's all about kind of like Buddhism and stuff like that. And so he looks like when he gets his 5 spoons there and he's getting all zen, it just reminded me of that book of Siddhartha. So
Right. No,
when you
I
get
feel it.
when you get a good name on a good Pokemon, sometimes it helps rank it higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
that's where Alakazam's at. All right, let's talk about the jokes. Joke and the champ himself. Got any love for the OG fighting type?
Yes and no. So, Machamp, he's
Mm-hmm.
out for me.
You don't
He's mid C tier.
mid C tier. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, very
I
different than
mean,
my
what do you
choice.
think?
I'm putting him up at A tier, man. I
All
really
three
like.
of them?
No, just Machamp.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'll put Machamp at A tier. Machoke is like sitting around. It's around Pikachu, honestly, and the Ninetales. Machoke's okay, and Machop is he's cute, but like whatever. He's kind of like with Poliwag, honestly. It's kind of hanging out, doing the
Yeah,
same
I'm
thing.
putting Machop down in C tier next to Machamp, and Machoke is actually going to be B tier.
You like
He's actually
Machoke the
gonna,
best?
yeah, he's gonna beat out Mega Alakazam.
Okay, interesting. Straight up, Pokemon Unite helped me love Machamp a little bit more than I ever did growing up.
Hmm.
I always thought Machamp was kind of okay. He'd probably be hanging around like the middle of B tier, kind of like Nidoqueen, Ninetales, or
Was he
whatever.
a player in Unite?
Yeah, Machamp is a Pokemon Unite Pokemon, and he's one of my favorite to play. He's so much fun.
Huh.
Hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that ranks him higher. More recently, do I appreciate Machamp? So he's still at the back of A tier, but I he's up in my A tier for sure, for sure.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. And then the Giga is down at D. I just is stupid.
Yeah, I've never played that Giga, never really even seen him, so I didn't rank him.
Yeah, yeah. Giga's done. Let's talk about a grass type I love. I am a huge fan of this
Me too.
this line here. All three of them are hilarious. I really like I think Bellsprout's one of the best basic Pokemons out there. The design is incredible. If you just got like a grass type, like that is the perfect grass Pokemon. You know what I mean? Weeping Bell's hilarious. So like he's got that comedy side to him, and Victory Bell is just legitimately really cool. And if you use him in combat, he's really strong. I really appreciate a physical grass type. So Victory Bell is going up at A. I really, really like him. In fact, I'm going to put him just behind Ivysaur in front of Butterfree. It's a pretty high ranking for me.
Really? That high?
That high. Yep, I love Victory Bell. 100%.
Victory Bell is going to high B for me, like second position.
Okay. What about your Bellsprout? Because specifically, Bellsprout for me is third in B tier. It's actually, you're going to hate this, but it's right in front of Poliwrath. I really like
Ooh.
Bellsprout. There's that episode of the anime
about
where
20
he's
spots behind Poliwrath.
okay. There's an episode in the anime where Ash fights. I think it's when he goes to Sprout Tower. I could be wrong, so it's like the beginning of Johto.
Right.
But there's an episode where the trainer has a Bellsprout that's essentially like level 70, right? It's like the super badass Bellsprout, and he's just dodging everything and like doing like incredibly strong vine whips or whatever. So ever since I've seen that, I've been like, wow, like a really badass Victory Bell or Little Bellsprout. I mean, is like pretty hilarious.
I agree that he's actually the top of my second. He's number 2 in my B list.
Okay. I'm putting Weeping
right
Bell
behind
down
me.
in C though. He's just kind of he's there, you know. He's actually kind of hanging out behind Raticate. I like Raticate better.
I could see that.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next? We got the Tentas. You like what's your opinion on hentai?
What?
I was just kidding. I said, what's your opinion on hentai?
Yeah, I thought I heard you.
Yeah,
right?
okay. No,
I get it, tentacles.
Yeah.
Tentacool. Very, very cool. Very cool. Solid C tier towards the top of C tier. Before I get into his evolution, what do you think of the two?
I'm putting Tentacool behind Raticate in C tier. Not the biggest fan of the little guys. They're everywhere and they're kind of annoying. Tentacruel, a little bit cooler. I don't mind him as much. Hanging out with Kadabra at the back of B. He's just a Pokemon, you know?
I think I'm going to stick him at the end of A.
Tentacruel, really? You like him that much?
He's a really unique Pokemon. Very cool. And if I was a Pokemon trainer, I would love to surf on him.
Okay.
I think that'd be a really cool surfboard.
I just realized we should have changed the tier names to S be like on my team, A is would train, B is respect, C is like don't care, and D is like in the trash can. You know, like I don't think we should change it now, but that's essentially how I'm kind of looking at my teams. It's like, oh yeah, anything at A tier, I would train. I'd catch A tier. B tier is like maybe, I might train it. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I agree. A tier I would stick with. S tier would be my team for sure. B tier I would catch one. C tier, they're cool, but like I ain't gonna catch one. And then D tier, like don't even look at me.
Unless it like evolves into something higher. Like I don't care for Ekans too much, but Jabak is awesome, you know.
All right, yeah.
All right, let's talk about the rocks. Geodude and Graveler, and these are their Alolan forms, which is Steel, I believe. Steel Electric or something like that. They're weird, yeah. It might be Rock Electric. I don't remember exactly. Somebody's screaming in the comments, "You idiots! You don't know Pokemon at all." But yeah, what do you think about Geodude specifically? The little rock bro.
So personally, Geodude is my favorite out of the 3.
I would have to agree.
I think he's a spunky little guy, and I like him a lot. I understand that you're going to see 100,002.
You're going to trip on a lot
every
of them.
time that you, every time that you fight. Every time that you're walking down a path in a cave and you kick a rock, turns out it's a Geodude.
Yep.
Yep, pretty much. But I got to stick him in B tier.
Okay.
If I saw him, I'd catch one.
So I have an incredible fondness for Geodude specifically. I have caught a shiny Geodude, and they're gold, which is awesome. Ooh. I am throwing him up in A tier in front of Machamp and Alakazam, but just behind Meowth. Yeah, there's something about Geodude specifically, man, that like It's just, it's I mean, obviously these are all from Gen 1, but there's a few standout Gen 1 Pokemon that were used a lot in promotional pieces, right? In advertisement or whatever. Like you'd have the Pikachus, you'd have the Meowths, you'd have the Eevees and the Pidgeys, but you would also almost always have Geodudes, and they just stood out to me as being like the Pokemon that is like the most basic rock type you could possibly get. It's just literally a rock with a face and arms to punch you with, you know? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
but yeah, I've always been pretty fond of Geodude. As far as Graveler and Golem goes, I think they're both kind of like mid tier. They're kind of B. I don't mind them, but I'm never like super excited to use them, other than the fact that they are really good. You know, like Geodude becomes something really good, and that's cool. But yeah,
Right.
back in B tier, they're hanging out just in front of Rattata for me, both of them.
Geodude's dope. Their evolutions are honestly D tier. I don't
Mm.
even want them.
Just in the trash.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if I have a Geodude, I'm not gonna let him evolve.
Okay, throwing the
And then I
Everstone on
probably
your
won't.
Geodude.
Yeah, I probably won't use him end game, but he'll be a little homie that I'll hang out with.
Yeah, you're Rock Smasher.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Now, something I can't agree with you about being in low D tier. All of these new Geodude forms, I do not like. I'll put the new
Yeah,
Geodude
I'm
form at
with
the
you.
back of C, but the new Graveler and the new Golem are trash. They're not as bad looking as. Actually, I take that back. I think Golem is worse looking than the Persian. Actually, they're both worse looking. Yeah, they get the worst pick for me. They're down there. Blech, that's what I got to say about them.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the Fire Horse and the My Little Pony ripoff. Have you seen those before? The Ponyta and Rapidash.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't even seen those.
Yeah, those are.
Those are Alola also, right?
No, I think they're Galar. They might be Galar form,
Okay, yeah, yeah.
but they're one of the new forms. They're
Right.
fairy type. And they're like, oh, we finally have a unicorn. Why they didn't make it fairy flying and make it a Pegasus is beyond me, because I would have made it a lot cooler than just like a fluffy My Little Pony unicorn. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I guess if we're talking about them, I'm gonna rank them kind of low just because I think they're stereotypical like girl doll, and I feel like they were made to look like that, and that's why I don't like it. I got nothing against girls having dolls, but like to build a Pokemon designed to essentially already look like a little toy, I don't like it. That doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah, it looks like a horse that would get beat up at school by My Little Pony.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
looks pretty weak.
I'm gonna throw them in the back of C tier. They're kind of hanging out with that crappy long cat Meowth and the Geodude that we just added. So those are dumb. But what do you think about OG Rapidash, the fire horse, the cool one?
Let me Ponita, I'm gonna stick mid B tier. OG Rapidash, easy A tier for me.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
fact, he is gonna be ahead of Zubat.
My Zubat
Yeah,
love
he's
hurts,
number
but I can
6.
respect that. Okay.
Yeah, huge fan. He was also the first, and I think first for everyone in that new Pokemon game. What the hell is it called? Pokemon Legends Arceus or whatever. The
Mm,
first alpha you run into,
that's
which
true.
I thought was really cool.
That's true. That was really cool. The first time you're like, oh crap, I gotta stay away
Yeah,
from
you're
that.
like, dude, that guy's huge.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's where me and you were different, sir. You said, "Oh crap, I gotta stay away from that." I threw my Pokemon at him.
Well, I mean, I stayed away from it, but that doesn't mean I didn't engage with it. Like I just
Okay,
kept my
fair enough.
distance and I threw my Pokemon at it and be like, you guys deal with it. I'm gonna stay back by this rock.
Well, actually, to be fair, I started by throwing a Pokeball at him,
Okay,
and
fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, that didn't go.
Well, I dropped Rapidash. He is at the top of B tier, so not as high as A as you, but I obviously respect the crap out of him. He's hanging out behind Raichu, in front of Bellsprout though, so respectable position. Ponyta is at the back of B, so they're both B tier, just
Okay.
different sides of the spectrum here. Okay, next up is Slowpoke.
Not a fan.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
yeah, they're kind of
He goes back to
meh.
C. He's not trash, but I'll look at him and not catch him.
I'm holding him here, and I'm like, do I like him more than Raticate? And the answer is no. He's gonna go in front of Persian. Middle of C. Middle of C.
Okay.
And then they've got this new Alolan one, which I just really don't like. It doesn't look different enough to
Me
be
neither.
interesting, so I'm dropping him down a D tier. Specifically the weird mega form that they have for him, I don't like at all. There's certain Pokemon that I think that they tried to make like kind of funny, and I think they just completely missed the mark. And Mega Slowbro is one of them. He looks like a top. Like how does he stand up on his tail? You know, it looks
A
really dumb.
badass tail.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna throw him at the back. I think I
To be
like him the
fair,
least.
if anybody's gonna stand on their tail, it should be him because he's got mad muscles in that tail.
I guess.
I mean, he uses it to fish, dude.
Well, yeah, fish once and then he turns into a slow bro. It's not like
Uh,
he's
he
pulling it up
uses
all the time.
successfully fish once.
Okay. Well, talking about Slowbro, out of all of these guys, he's the only one that I actually like a little bit. Um, and I'm gonna put him up at probably B tier, kind of hanging out by Kadabra and Tentacruel and that's and the B tier is he's a respectable Pokemon. Like, oh, I respect a Slowbro. But all of the other Slowpoke forms, like, nah, it's not for me, man.
I
Not for
feel
me
it.
at all.
Uh, I'm gonna put him behind Slowpoke. I like Slowpoke better.
Okay,
Yeah.
just the meme worthiness of Slowpoke.
I don't know what it is, man. I don't really like either of them too much. They're actually both at the back of my C tiers. They're
Okay.
not trash, but not a big fan.
Yeah, they're alright. They're alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'm excited for this next one.
I am too, and I'm glad you are. I'll let you go because I love this Pokemon. I'm just gonna let you know I'm rating him high,
Really? How high?
very high,
All right.
higher than you would
Well,
expect.
well, what would you say if I told you that one of these is going all the way up to S?
Oh, really? Is it
No.
Magnemite? Oh no. Okay.
No, but they are both going in A tier.
Okay. Same with me. Yeah, they're not S tier, but they are A tier. You know
Yep.
what would be S tier if well, it might be S tier. Let me just say this. A Pokemon that I love very, very much is Magnezone, which isn't on here, but it's what they evolve
Right.
into. Magnezone is tied for my favorite electric type. The other electric type is on this list and may or may not be going in S tier, but Magnezone is tied with that Pokemon in my love for using it. Specifically, the fact that it's also Steel is incredibly useful. And if we wanted to get into like competitive reasonings, having a really hard hitting special attacker who's also a really good special defense Pokemon is super handy to have on a team. And I love them. They're great.
I can see that. Yeah,
And
100%.
I don't really have any love difference between Magnemite or Magneton. They're kind of just the same for me. I'm gonna put them just in front of Machamp. But yeah, that Magnezone would be S tier or like up with like Nidoking and Pidgeot. You know, like Magnezone is amazing. Love that guy.
Yeah, Magnezone's cool. I put Magnezone fifth from the end of A tier. But I mean, his predecessor is number 4 in A tier. He's actually number 6 for Pokemon right now for me.
Right on.
Yeah, he's up there. Really cool Pokemon. Really love him. I love the idea. Personally, I think out of all the Pokemon so far, this is one of the, if not the most original Pokemon that they've had.
Hmm. I could
Like
agree.
out of
I could agree
everything
with
we've
that.
ranked so far.
Like a floating magnet thing.
Yeah, I love the
Yeah.
originality, and I love that they tie it to electricity and everything. You know,
Okay.
it's very very cool.
I can see you training a Magnemite.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
I
definitely
think
see
I'd have a
that.
blast with that. I'd
Okay.
use them for some like sciencey shit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Fuck yeah, science. All right, cool. All right, everybody, welcome back. You didn't go anywhere, but we did. It's been a few days, but we are back at it. So let's go ahead and kind of wrap our head around where we left off, Al. We were at Farfetch'd.
Oh yeah,
Got
true.
any love for Farfetch'd?
About the only love I have is wasn't there a mini game in Pokemon Stadium?
With
Didn't
Farfetch'd?
yeah, didn't he have his own?
I don't think he did.
All right, well then I got no love. No love at all.
You have like imaginable
I,
love for this mini game for Farfetch'd? That would have been sick if there
if
was.
I mean if I'm honest, I've never even
Oh,
trained one.
there might be one in Gold and Silver, like Stadium 2,
Okay.
but I don't know that
Stadium
one
Stadium
as
2 is
much.
great.
Yeah, it was good. Where are you putting him?
I put him bottom C. I know he's not a trash Pokemon, but
Okay.
I didn't really play him.
So Farfetch'd is actually going pretty high for me. Farfetch'd is in the
Really?
same boat. Yeah, Farfetch'd is in the same boat as Butterfree, where there's not very many Pokemon I can remember from my very first team ever, but I do remember Farfetch'd was on it, and mainly because in the original games you can trade for a Farfetch'd. So the first time when I was playing the game as a kid, you get a trade opportunity, you try to take it, right? Because you're like, whoa, what's this? It's gonna be a rare
Yeah.
Pokemon. So yeah, you end up getting Farfetch'd, and he's got a funny name. Maybe somebody in the comment knows it, but it's always the same
Yeah, no, I
name.
know I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
100%.
So anyway, I use him a lot, and honestly, he's pretty high. I'm gonna put him in B. But I'm trying to kind of figure out where. I'll probably put him right behind Pidgeotto because he's not as good as the other birds. But I do really like Farfetch'd.
Okay.
Yeah, he's cool.
That's interesting. So high for you. All right.
Yeah, another big reason is if we go to the next Pokemon here, he got a new form in Galar, where she becomes a fighting type, a flying fighting type, and I use this guy in my team, and this is the example of a type of Pokemon when people are always like, "Oh, wouldn't it be so cool to give this Pokemon an evolution?" Like we're talking about all of these two-stage evolutions, Pokemon that only evolve once, and how they could really
Yeah.
like Sandslash, right? Sandslash would be sick. Well, they finally did it with Farfetch'd, and they gave him Surfetch'd, and he's like a knight that beats the crap out of people with his giant leak, and he's amazing, and he's actually going A tier for me.
Really?
Yes, he's probably sitting up, probably just behind Butterfree, if I'm honest. He's high. I really like this Pokemon.
That's up there, dude.
It is. Farfetch'd is
Yeah, for
sweet.
sure.
Farfetch'd is sweet. Where are you gonna rank him? Because I know you haven't played that one.
I mean, it's one of the ones I haven't played. If
Mhm.
I haven't played him, I'm not ranking him unless they just look really, really cool. And he does look cool, but just not enough for me to rank. I'm dropping him down below.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't rank him if I didn't play him.
I think that's perfectly fair. Perfectly fair. All right. Well, have you ever trained a Doduo or a Dodrio?
I have, and I love Doduo, and
Yeah.
he's going B tier easily.
Okay. Yeah, we share love for this
Specifically,
Pokemon then.
yeah, dude. I think he's going like number 10 in B tier, somewhere around there, just behind Golduck. But I specifically remember it was either Pokemon MMO or Pokemon 3D.
Hmm.
Uh, dude, I trained the crap out of
They're
one. And
strong.
I loved him.
They are
Dude, super
really
strong.
strong for
Oh yeah,
specifically a playthrough team. Competitive,
yeah.
they struggle a little bit.
And
Um,
his evolution is actually going right behind Alakazam, 2 spots behind Dodrio.
okay, and those were B tier for you.
B tier, both of them. Yep.
Okay, so I decided to put Doduo in B tier, right in the middle. He's actually just behind Nidoqueen and just in front of Sandslash, in front of Pikachu. That's an important milestone. Dodrio, however, is awesome, and I really like him. I'm debating on whether or not I put him in A tier, but he's at least top of
Really?
B. Yeah, Dodrio. I really like flying type, so I know you would consider yourself a water trainer, and I know
It's funny because I'm looking right now at my A tier and half of them are water.
yeah. A lot of mine are flying, and I've always loved the flying type. I think I
Yeah.
mentioned last time we were recording, so earlier in the video, I ended up kind of being a poison trainer. Like I end up liking a lot of poison types. But the Pokemon that I would personally go out and search for would be flying. Flying type would be my. If somebody was like, you could only have one type, it'd be flying for me for sure. So
Okay.
so actually, while I'm talking up the flying type, yeah, I'm gonna put Dodrio in A tier. He's gonna sit at the back of it though, because I think things like Alakazam and Machamp are a little bit cooler, but I will totally train Ojo Trio any day of the week. They're cool.
Okay. Okay. This next Pokemon kind of hits the heartstrings a little bit,
Yeah.
and I don't judge it so much based off of the Pokemon as a whole. Personally, I think as a Pokemon, it's a low C tier. I don't think it's the best Pokemon. I think it's a little useless. I probably wouldn't train one.
What would you rate
That
it
be
simply based off how creative its name is?
Yeah, ha ha ha.
Okay.
Uh,
D
no,
tier,
that
man.
being that being said, man, I went to yeah, I mean, I went to college with you. We went to a pretty hippie college, and one of the things that people just smashed into my mind is, "Who's your spirit animal?" Dude, mine's a
Mm,
harbor seal, so I gotta have love for him, and I boost him up to the back of B tier
okay.
because of that.
Respect, respect. Yeah, my
Yeah,
spirit animal would be a coyote, which we don't exactly have as a Pokemon. There's a few that are close, but still not one that
right.
has like really nailed it with coyote. Yeah, I'm gonna be real though. It's for me, Seal and Dugong are very low. They're very forgettable Pokemon, and I
I
think
agree.
I think that's a shame because like a Seal Pokemon could be really really cool. Um, But yeah, honestly, I think Seal and Dugong are gonna go down here in D tier.
Yeah, Dugong is D tier for me for sure, but Seal Man, I just had to put him in B. You know.
Yeah, actually, I'll put Dugong up in back of C,
Okay.
but Seal specifically is just it's literally a seal, you know. And sometimes that's okay in Pokemon, sometimes it's not. All right. So speaking of poison types, we've
Fucking
got
Grimer.
one. We've got another one that I might rank higher than you expect. This is Grimer and Muck, and specifically, there's also the Alolan form, which is a dark type. Now, I am personally a bigger fan of the newer Grimer and Muck that they came out with.
Me too.
Yeah, the color change where it's like different pollutants in the oil and the sludge is a really cool idea, and it's just adding that dark type makes them that much literally cooler. Like pretty awesome. So the new Muck I'm gonna throw up in B tier. I don't think it's A, but it is. It's up there with like Rapidash. It's hanging out at the top of B tier with like a very solid Pokemon. And my normal Muck is gonna probably sit near it, but a little bit lower, about mid B. I think I actually like Pikachu a little bit better, so it can sit by like Clefable. And Grimer is pretty much the same. He's gotta hang out with his bigger brother for both those picks. How about you?
I'm putting all four in C tier,
Okay.
but I'm putting the old ones about 2/3 of the way down, and the new ones about 1/3 of the way down. They're about 10 spots up. Simple reason. I mean, aside from the Pokemon changes, man, just the physical changes. I love that they made it look like spilled oil.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck or what the hell is were they supposed to be before? I mean,
Just
they're supposed to be
sludge.
like sludge, yeah,
Yeah,
but
just
like
generic
when I think
sludge.
of pollution, I don't think of sludge. I think of like spilled oil.
Think of
You
like
know?
bad rainbows.
Exactly, 100%. No, it was great, man. I love that.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I can respect those pick.
Yeah, for sure,
Who
for
we got
sure.
next? Ooh, we got Shelder and Cloyster. These are
Nice.
water types, so I'll let you take it away. Do you like these guys, or are they kind of a bad water type?
I understand why a lot of people like Cloyster. I understand that Cloyster is incredibly defensive. First off, Shelter
Incredibly good competitively.
D tier for Shelter.
Ooh, okay.
But Cloyster, incredibly great competitive, incredibly good Pokemon. I would not personally train one of these. However, I think that they are such a good Pokemon that they are top 10 B tier.
Okay.
Yep, just above Vulpix.
Respect. So I have kind of similar thoughts on this one. Shelter's gonna go hang about by Oddish. It's middle of C tier. He's just kind of whatever, throwing him down there.
Okay.
But I agree. Top of B tier is Cloyster. I'll probably put him right behind Farfetch because I don't have like a personal affinity for him,
But
or like reason I like him. I just like really respect it. I think it looks really cool. Memes aside of what it looks like, that is also kind of funny, but generically, it's a good Pokemon. I like it.
yeah,
Yeah,
I feel it.
cool.
That one, Shelter definitely had a mini game, right? Wasn't the one where he like jumps up or something? I'm thinking Pokemon Snap.
Mm.
He like jumps up and you have to catch the like four of them jump up at the same time. You have to catch the perfect snap. Ah, there were so many good games. All right. Anyway,
Guess what's next?
you're super excited about what's
Yes, I'm showing off my shirt that I was wearing last time.
next.
Yeah, dude, I love this Pokemon. Now, what's gonna be hard for me to pick is what's better, Ghastly Haunter or Gengar. I think I'm gonna pick
Gengar.
Gengar, but like that is it's so hard to choose, to be honest. But yeah, easily, no doubt in my mind, it's going up in S tier. It is gonna be third though. It's behind Nidorino and Squirtle simply because of sentimental value. Like
Okay.
I just really love those. But Gengar is always the Pokemon that I always choose to be the heavy hitting special attacker on my team. He's like a jokester. I'm kind of nocturnal, so he would hang out with me all the time at night. And yeah, just really love him. And Haunter and Ghastly, I can speak about them for hours too. They're gonna go hang out in A tier, just really high as well. Probably just behind Zubat. I like Zubat a little bit better than Ghastly, even
I can
though
see
even though
that.
my new shirt is Zubat. So
I
rocking
can see
both of
that.
them.
Um, Personally, I really, really respect Ghastly. I think Ghastly's a really cool, unique Pokemon. Um, Ghastly as a Pokemon, though, I think is like upper C tier. It's above Pikachu and Raichu,
It hurts a little bit, but
but
okay.
behind Kadabra.
Okay.
Now that's Ghastly. Haunter, hands down, I'm gonna put Haunter in B tier. Uh, honestly, number 2 in B tier, right behind Pidgey.
Okay,
And
respectable.
the only reason Pidgey stays ahead is because, I mean, my bird
It's your
boys are the
yeah,
heads of my S, A, and B tier.
yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
It's your Pidgey, man. I get that.
Yeah.
I get
And
that.
then Gengar, dude, hands down, man. Listen, I don't normally play him. He's not my favorite Pokemon. Easily an A tier. He goes. Where would he go? He's gonna go in between War Turtle and Blastoise.
Oh, between my
Yeah.
starters, I like it.
Yeah, yeah,
Hanging
yeah.
out.
He's like number 8 in A tier for me.
Okay.
And then what is this? The Giga and the Mega, right?
Yeah. So the next one's the Giga form, which it's I don't know.
It looks stupid. It looks like a
I
tunnel.
yeah, I don't like Gigas.
I love the Mega though. Absolutely love Mega Gengar. I remember first seeing that, and it was just. I think the first one I saw it, she was battling you,
Yeah, I probably used it
like
against
straight
you.
up.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I like the Mega, but I don't like it as much as just like normal Gengar. Like
No, I'm gonna
it's
stick him down with
cool.
Contra.
I'm not the biggest fan of the third eye. Like I understand the
Mm,
reason why they went for the third eye, but to me that's more psychic than it is like supernatural scary ghost.
I could see that.
So that has always kind of stuck out for me. And then the idea of like half his body being hidden underneath is a really cool concept, but how that translates into the games, the model sometimes looks kind of janky.
Right.
So that kind of
Yeah, he
brings it
always
down
kind of looks like
sometimes.
Haunter. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So it is what it is. I'm gonna drop. It's still an A tier, but it's like at the back of A tier for the mega. Like it's still one of the coolest megas, and obviously, like you said, one I use regularly back in the day when
Right.
we were doing X and Y. Um, but yeah, it's just missing a little marks to be like the most flawless mega. Which we have a really cool one coming up too that I can talk about. But yeah, this one misses the
Hang
mark.
on.
All right, what's next?
Onyx.
Onyx.
Let me just start by saying, as a kid, absolutely loved Onyx.
Yeah.
There was something about Brock, man. Loved the guy. Best person in the animes out of the main characters. Absolutely loved him growing up. And I think it was just that he was all about. I mean, he was all about girls and food, but he was all about breeding, you know. And I just thought that was the coolest thing, and that made me fall in love with Onyx. But
For the people who don't understand, he's talking about Pokemon breeding.
fair
To
enough.
follow that statement up by Brock likes girls. He's also into breeding. It's like, whoa, let's clarify here. But yeah, I get what you're saying. You're really a big fan of. I know you. You're a big fan of like
Yeah, I
actually
mean,
breeding the Pokemon in the game and trying to get the competitive stats and stuff
yeah,
like that. That side's
short
really
little
cool.
tangent right here, you guys. When Pokemon X and Y came out, I sat there grinding Froakies over and over again until I had perfect stats. Everybody's done that, right? Well, then I grinded Froakies again and again to the point that what I had 4,000 or something Froakies,
You like
and
limited
I,
your
I was trying
box
to
or
get the
something.
perfect shiny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I finally gave up. But I'll tell you what, man, if you can breed 4,000 Froakies, you gotta love breeding.
Fair enough.
That being said, man, Onyx has a spot in my heart.
Yep.
I also think he's honestly a pretty good Pokemon. He's going above Charizard in B tier.
Okay.
Sorry, above Mega Charizards.
Okay. I also have him B tier. I think Onyx is like a solid definition of like a well-averaged Pokemon that
Yes.
I don't think people really like nobody hates Onyx. There might not be a ton of people that love
No, but
Onyx,
if
but
you're not gonna make him a
everyone's
Steelix, you don't stick with him.
yeah, everyone's just like, you know what, Onyx, you're respectable. So I'm gonna put him actually right behind Bulbasaur. He's gonna hang out with Bulbasaur, who I
He has two
feel
spots
fits
behind
in that.
Bulbasaur for me.
Yeah, he fit. Yeah, Bulbasaur and him have a lot in common. I think that
Yeah,
they're loved by pretty much everyone, but they're not the favorite of too many people. Although
yeah,
I do
I
know
agree.
Bulbasaur has a cult following for sure as the first starter. But
All right, so what's next? Drowsy and Hypno, right?
Drowsy. Yeah, what are your takes on these guys? Because I'll let you know, I've never really been the biggest fan of Hypno and Drowsy.
Drowsy, I think, can honestly hit decently good. I don't really like him too much, so he's going mid C tier. But Hypno, honestly, I'm a bigger fan than average. I still don't think he's A tier quality, but he's gonna go up there with like Golbat and B tier.
Okay,
Yeah, in
I don't.
fact, he's gonna beat Golbat.
Ooh, beat Golbat.
I know
That
that hurts you.
hurts my Golbat heart. Yeah, that's fine. I have them both in C tier. Hypno's at the high end
Okay.
of C tier, and Drowsy's at the very last back end of C tier. I think Hypno is one of those Pokemon, like you were saying, that really could have evolved one more time. And if they really went all out with that kind of sleeper hypnotizing type vibe that he's got going on. I think it would have been really cool, and I might have more appreciation for the full line. Yeah, but right now they're just kind of always falling short. You know, he's not that strong. He's not that cool. He's C tier. He's all right.
I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
I
Ooh, these next ones though. I'm a big fan of these next ones.
All right. Well, then I'll start on this next one
Okay.
because for years I've wanted to like them, and I can't. I don't know what
Really?
it is, man.
The marine
I've tried.
biologist Al does not like Krabby and Kingler. Are you putting that
Man,
on record? Are you saying that?
when I was a kid, man, I owned two crabs, and one of them tore the other one apart, and then like
Oh,
drowned himself. And
oh, you're
maybe it's just like,
traumatized.
yeah, hidden trauma or something.
You don't want two
but
Krabbies because you're gonna get a dead Krabby.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. I've really tried with Krabby and Kingler, and I can't do it, man. And
Okay.
honestly, I don't think they're that good at Pokemon. I think they're low C's, both of them.
Okay. I do know
Kingler
that
is better.
my love for Krabby and Kingler is a little bit abnormal. I know that they're kind of got a cult following too. Like
Yeah,
the
fair
people who
enough.
like Krabby and Kingler like really like Krabby and Kingler. I really like them, and the whole them running sideways and going it
Yeah.
just sticks out to me. They're both A tier for me for sure. They're actually that high.
Really?
I
Wow.
have always wanted Krabby and Kingler to be, again, we keep saying this, have another evolution, but more specifically, I think Mega Kingler could be so cool. They have done something with this Giga maxing Kingler, and he turns into kind of like a giant. I'm trying to think of the exact type of crab that's in the world, but it's those huge, like skeleton ones. That's not right. What is it? Like the king
No, the
crab?
giant one.
You know
Yeah,
what
the
I'm
one that's
talking
like
about.
freaking 2 feet wide or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's huge. So this is the
Yeah.
actually only
Okay.
Giga form that I'm gonna rank higher.
Spider
I
crab? No.
something like that. I'm not
Yeah, I
sure.
don't know.
Um, but I really like the idea, and I wish this was his mega. So I hate Giga maxing, but I think this form of Kingler they did really really well. Besides the fact
Hmm,
that it's got like clouds on it, which they continually have always done for Gigas because they're so huge. They're
right.
like, wow, they're in the stratosphere. It's dumb.
Yeah, I mean, I stuck the Giga on this one with the other two.
Yeah, so
I think he deserves to be there.
I'm actually sticking the Giga down in B because still a Giga, not the biggest fan. It doesn't deserve A tier for me, but the idea behind giving Kingler something greater and more is so valuable that it's going up in B for that alone. But yeah, he's I don't know if I told you, but yeah, they're both at the end of A. Very, very end of A for those guys.
Okay.
Big crab fan. All right, who we got next? Oh, a Pokeball. What do you think about the Pokeball?
I think it was fun to throw a Pokeball at in Pokemon Snap. I mean, like, let's be real, man. I never wanted to face him because if I can't kill him in one hit, I got to trade out to like get a Pokemon that's not going to die from their explosion.
From the
And
explosion, yeah.
it was annoying to fight like Abra, and I think it was honestly kind of useless. Like some people love them. I can't put them above C. In fact, they're
Hmm.
low C. Um,
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan, and I understand that some people really like them, and you can actually train them up to be pretty dang fantastic. I will never do that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I ended up putting mine both in B with Voltorb a little bit
Hmm,
lower, but I respect them. I think they're cool. I think it's a unique Pokemon in the sense that Pokemon knew what they were doing with Pokeballs and thus made a Pokemon out of it. So this is a Pokemon that takes its inspiration from the game itself instead of taking inspiration from outside the game, and I think that's pretty unique and pretty cool. So
yeah, fair enough.
I always liked them because their Electrode is also incredibly fast. So
What would you say if I told you that they took their inspiration from Dr. Mario?
I would say that Nintendo has done a lot of that type of stuff with a lot of their games, and it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, no, I have no idea.
Okay,
All
so
right.
next up is the one I told you to be prepared for when we get here. When you thought there were some ridiculous looking
Oh my God,
Alolan
the tall
forms,
boy.
there's the tall one. So we'll get to that. But what do you think of the normal Execute and Executor?
Um, Execute, I think, is like a high C tier, maybe low B. I'm gonna stick it right behind Seal, the back of B. Executor, though, I think is a fantastic Pokemon. It's actually going at the back of my A tier.
Okay.
Great Pokemon, beefy, good hitter. I like that he's a palm tree. I like the design. I think it's actually really cool that they make like the coconuts be his faces and stuff. And
Right, yeah.
I think it's cool, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I also have them in B tier. I feel like a lot of Pokemon are gonna end up in B tier when they're just
Yeah,
like
B and C for me
yeah,
a
B is
lot.
like I really respect them, but they're not special to me. But like they're pretty cool. So he's gonna go in front of that crab form actually, and Sand Slash. So he's hanging out in the middle. Execute though, I think it's like a kind of a cool concept, but I've never cared for it, you know. So I'm gonna drop it down in C. It's hanging out by like Slowpoke and Weeping Bell and Tentacool. They're all kind of there, and they're like, yeah, you're not a D tier, but nothing interesting about it for me.
Right.
However, this
The
next
cobbler.
one, dude, this next one, I trained one in Alola and I laughed so hard. There's actually only one other Pokemon I've laughed harder at. And it wasn't even like, wow, they're doing it. That's so stupid. It was like, that's actually funny. Like, that's actually funny. Um, so I'm putting my guy up here in B tier. I don't know if I can give him A tier simply because, like, yeah, he's funny and memey, but like, is he actually that great? I'll put him just because of you. I'll put him in B tier. He's high B tier, but he'll be right behind Poliwrath.
Yeah, he better be behind Poliwrath because he's going in D tier for me. However, he is the front of D tier.
Okay. Actually, I'm looking at my list. There's no way he should be this high. He's not in front of my birds. He's gonna
Yeah,
go.
I'm like, what?
He's gonna go just behind Diglett. That feels way better.
All right.
That feels way better. But I do really like him. I think he's so silly.
No, I get it, man. Mine's right behind Diglett too. It's like 70 Pokemon past Diglett.
Alright. Okay, next one. Cubone, Marowak, and Alolan Marowak. Got any love for these little guys? I have a personal friend who dies by this Pokemon. This is his all-time
So,
favorite.
Marowak, first off, great Pokemon. Not the best, not the worst. I'm putting it towards the back of B tier. Cubone, however, he is actually going to go towards the front of B tier. Out of respect, I will put him just behind Haunter and Mega Gengar. But he is towards the front, and it's because he's not a bad Pokemon,
Mhm.
and I love his backstory.
Yes.
But the Alola one, man, is gonna go right behind him because number one looks badass. Number two, they made him like fighting and shit, right? I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
yeah, that is so cool.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, all three of these for me are going to be right next to each other because my love for all three of them are just kind of
Hmm.
tied. I'm actually putting them right behind the Alolan Executive, and thus right behind Diglett. They're high B tier. My love for this Pokemon honestly came more recently when they came out with the Alolan form, and when I played, what was it? It was Let's Go Eevee.
Yeah.
Who by the way, well, spoiler alert, is much better than Pikachu. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Oh,
We'll get to that
100%.
soon. But yeah, using the fire ghost type was so much fun that you actually have to use a normal Cubone, and then Cubone evolves into it. So I used Cubone for a while, and yeah, that just spawned my love for the line. And then the reason Marowak is up here in addition to those two is simply because of the Lavender Town ghost tower and that story and how it everything about the Cubone about is it a Kangaskong? Well, maybe it's just a baby Kangaskong that lost its mother and now it's wearing the
Right.
skull, and that makes it more of a fighting type, but it's still like a ground type. So I don't know. It's a really cool Pokemon, and it goes top of B for sure for that.
I can see that.
Yeah. Next up, the actual true fighting Pokemon, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Are you more of a Chan or a Lee kind of guy?
Uh, See, I mean, that's
You got to pick one.
I know, I know, I
Head
know.
to the fighting gym. You have two options. Which one do you take?
Chan. I'm going
You
Chan.
go Chan. Okay. I always go Lee. Maybe it's because I was a runner in high school that I was always more about kicking than punching. Um,
I played football, but I was a guard, so I didn't run much. I only ran 5 feet and then beat the shit out of the guy.
there you go. That being said, I don't have a super love for these guys. I think they're cool.
Me neither.
I wish they evolved one more time, but didn't get the dumb evolutions like like Magmortar and some of the other like Rhydon got later down the line. I think I'm gonna put them still in B because I respect them, but they're all the way at
Yeah,
the
I did
back.
too.
Yeah, they're like with
Mine are
Slowbro and
actually
Venomoth and stuff like that.
mine's B tier about halfway, just behind your Nidorinos and everything, and right behind Ponita.
Mm, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I like them. I think they're chill. I
Oh,
just don't think they're endgame, you know?
I just saw the next Pokemon. Let's
This
talk
guy.
about Lickitung. You got any problems with Lickitung?
Yeah, for starters, I would never have him if I was a Pokemon trainer.
Yeah.
Like in real life.
Can you think of the
Get the hell
slobber?
out of here.
Can you think of like the amount of
Dude,
just
I
saliva
get
everywhere in your household?
I get irritated when somebody's dog slobbers on me. I don't want a Lickitung, and I think he's a stupid Pokemon, and he's going second in D tier.
I have to admit, this is gonna be what is this? My first fully evolved, almost. There's a few of other dumb ones. This is my first fully evolved Pokemon from Kanto that isn't like a lowland form in D tier. So because of that, he's gonna be at the very top of D tier.
Yeah, he's right behind Longboy for me.
Right behind the log boy. Oh, the cat. The meow.
No, the Executor.
Oh, the executor. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, the Giga.
Yeah, Lickiting's he's fine. Like as far as using him, he's like a big, bulky, normal type, kind of like Snorlax, but he's just way less cool. And what he evolves into is that example of what I was saying when they gave evolutions to these guys later down the line. The Licky, I think it's called, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
I agree.
It's one of the dumbest
100%.
Pokemon they ever made.
I agree.
Lickitung by himself, kind of whatever, kind of okay, honestly, but that evolution brings down his whole line just to
I agree.
just a stupidity level, unfortunately, for him.
100%.
All right, next up is Golfing, Wheezing, and the Pokemon that I laughed way harder at than even the Alolan Executor is
I love
Galarian Wheezing, who looks like
you start.
It looks like a factory, but he also just straight up. Sorry, YouTube. That thing looks like a bong.
I was gonna say he
Straight
looked
up.
like a smoking apparatus.
Yes, that he is paraphernalia for sure. I
Oh
laughed.
yeah, dude.
I laughed so hard when I saw this with the trailer that I knew instantly that I had to have this guy on my team when I played Galar, and I did. And he's actually in game incredible. He's like incredibly specially defensive and hits like a truck physically. So he's actually a really good Pokemon. He's fairy type if you didn't know. So he's poison fairy type now.
I actually did know that.
Yeah, he is. I'm kind of skipping coughing and wheezing here, but he's A tier for me. I laughed so hard and used him that this is my preferred wheezing. Yeah. And I'm going to sit him kind of, honestly, he's like hanging out with Farfetch'd because I had Farfetch'd and him on the same team in Galar, which was fun. A lot of my Galar team was 151 original Gen 1 Pokemon, but like their new forms, which was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. What do you, what's your take on the normals though?
I honestly, I love all three. They are fantastic Pokemon. And I'm actually going to stick all three of them in A tier in reverse order at the back of A tier.
Okay.
Yep, they're going in reverse order at the back of A tier.
I put mine not in A tier, so you like them a little bit more than me.
I really like them.
I put him at the very top of B tier, right next to Arbok, which I think is a respectable place for him to sit.
I agree.
It's obviously really nostalgic to see Arbok and Wheezing in general, because of the original Team Rocket team, or their Pokemon, right? Their original Pokemon in Kanto. So yeah, they're great because of that. They got a lot of flavor and personality built into the characters because we've seen a lot of them on screen. So I respect them. And it's a poison type, so you know, I gotta end up liking it apparently. All right. Next up we have Rhydon. Looks like we have a double Rhydon. Go down there.
Yes, we do. Get rid of one of them.
All right. We are coming up on, oh, look at that. Last 4 rows.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
This actually might be a good moment to just take a pause. What are you drinking tonight now? Because I know we asked earlier, but it's a different night. I'm not drinking apple juice.
I have what YouTube might or might not call a 21 plus beverage. I haven't cracked it open yet though. I just got back from work, man. You know how it is. I work second shift. I'm doing that late night thing, and once we're done with this, I'll probably crack it open and have myself a good night.
There you go. There you go. Right on. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of right on.
Right on. Right on. Nice. All right, well, take it away, Mr. Pun. What do you?
Yeah,
what
dude.
do you think?
This guy 100% had a Pokemon Stadium game. Didn't we race this one? He like rolled.
I'm like trying to remember
He like
I
rolled
don't know
on
if we had a
dirt.
Rhydon one.
Damn, man, I cannot remember the game.
Again,
I'd have to
it
play.
might be the gold and silver one because
Yeah, true.
it vaguely
I
sounds
played more.
familiar.
To be fair, I played more of Pokemon Stadium too.
Hmm.
So, that being said, I don't like either of these Pokemon all too much. I think they're solid Pokemon, but they're like just behind Ghastly and C tier. So they're
Really?
upper C tier, but
Okay.
I don't think they're that great.
Have you
I
ever
think they're
trained one?
overhyped. Yes, and I think they're
Hmm.
okay, but I
Okay.
think that they are overhyped. I think it's they run into although they almost push out of that whole thing where if you only have one evolution, you're not strong enough endgame. They almost push out of that because they are stronger than a lot of those two Pokemon type
They
things.
do eventually get a third too,
Um,
but yeah.
okay. Yeah, but with their two, I mean.
Hmm.
Um, but with their two, they're almost as strong as the three, honestly. But with those two, they are just not quite there still.
Okay, that's fair. I don't know if I would consider them overhyped. I think they have
Really.
not like a crazy following. To be honest, I could be wrong. There could be a ton of people out there, but I personally really do like them, and I didn't up until recently. This is like an old Pokemon that I more recently started to fall in love with. Um, Rhyhorn's really cool to like run around on. I think what it was is when I played Let's Go Eevee with that team with my Alolan Marowak. I also had a Rhyhorn and a Rhydon. I got Rhyhorn very early, and in that game, you can literally ride on your Pokemon. So I was
Right.
Rhyhorn was like my get around bike pretty much. So I was always hanging out with Rhyhorn and cruising around. And when he became a Rhydon, I could still, ride on the back of him. He could even swim, which was cool. That's like a weird thing about Rhydons that they can swim. But yeah, and he was incredibly powerful in the Elite Four. So he just like
Like you'd sink like a brick.
dude. I mean, look at those arms. He's got some beefy freestyle, man.
Yeah, he also
He
looks like he has
goes.
no. He also it looks like he has no fat and fat floats.
I mean, he's
That's
made
why I'm
of
such a great
rocks.
swimmer.
He's so
Yeah, that too.
yeah, yeah.
Yo, for those listening, I'm saying, help me prove my point. Leave me a comment if you're a Red on fan.
Yeah, yeah. I could be wrong. I don't think he's
I
overhyped.
think there's
For
a
me though, he
following,
is
man.
great. He is great. He is. Do you know the fun fact about Rhydon?
He's a Pokemon.
Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever designed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Ever designed was Rhydon when they were thinking. When I forget his name, which is a sin. Um, I don't want to guess which Japanese guy it is because I'll get it wrong. But when he was planning Pokemon and like drawing concept arts, Rhydon is the first one that we and the general public have gotten access to. So there might have been other ones, but yeah, he's known to be the first Pokemon ever designed, which is pretty cool. Him and Clefable. Clefable is really high, or Clefairy, one of the two.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So he gets a tip of the hat for that as well. All right, let's move on. We've got Chansey. I'll start. Chansey, I don't really care for Chansey, but my love for Chansey just kind of pairs with my love for Pokemon in general, right? Because it's always in the Pokemon Center. I'm gonna throw it up in B tier right next to Pikachu because it's kind of the same as Pikachu, where it's like just kind of a respect for Pokemon that makes me like Chansey. But personally, I'm like, it's just Chansey.
I'm putting him at the end of B.
End of
Like,
B.
yeah, I'm same reason.
Mm-hmm.
I just, yeah, I have some respect, but like just enough to not really care. You
Okay.
know?
Yeah, that sounds like a back B for me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
All right, what's this next one? Tangela, right? Or something like
Tangela.
that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your thought
So
on Tangela?
Tangela reminds me of McDonald's. Sometime in the early '90s, I ordered a Mighty Kids
It
meal,
does look like
and
a
I got
Happy
a
Meal toy.
no, and I got a Tangela. They had, I
Yeah.
think it was for the Pokemon movie 2000 coming out or something. But
Okay.
it was a Tangela that had a little spinny thing on the back, and you wind it up on the table, and it's a spinning top.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose Tangela
Yeah, I don't know
for
why
it.
Tangela would spin. I guess
Instead of like, I don't know,
it,
Hitmonlee or
it's the right
something like.
proportions or something. Or I don't know, Hitmon top.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
Well, maybe it
yeah,
hadn't came out yet because I was Johto.
yeah. True. I don't know, man, but that's what I think of.
Where
That
does
being
yeah,
said,
where does it put it?
it's a C.
C. I put mine in C too, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, total mid tier C. I do like Tangrowth. When it gets an evolution, I think that's a cool evolution, but at the same time, the Tangrowth is kind of just like a bigger matted ball. I mean, it's what you would expect it to evolve into, so I'm not really complaining too much, but I do think Tangrowth makes it a little cooler, but generally it's just kind of it's just there. C-type. I've never trained one though. Maybe if I trained one like Rhyhorn, it would kind of grow in my love. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
All right. Got any love for Kangaskong? And that's Mega Kangaskong. Sit next to
Okay,
it.
the Mega, I'm actually just gonna drop down below. I have never encountered him. I've never messed with him. I don't think it's much of a change. What was the type change, if anything? I guess nothing. It was just a
Nothing.
Mega,
It's
right?
just had a really OP ability where the baby would do an extra 50% of the damage of whatever attack you did. So
Wow.
your attacks are basically 150% stronger. Yeah,
Wow.
it was broken
Uh,
for a while.
as far as Genghis Khan, I mean, I want to stick him in A tier, honestly. He's a very good Pokemon. But I don't think he's up there, man. Like, I think I'm sticking him towards the top of B.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
definitely not S for me.
I put him at the back of B. He's kind
Really,
of
that low?
Yeah, I've never really been a super big fan of it. And honestly, like I was just talking about how super powerful the Mega Form is, that it's actually kind of annoying for me because I kept bumping into him during the X and Y days, which is when I did do a little bit of online competitive, just kind of like queuing up right in the matchmaking. And when you do that, you get people who are just pushing the meta over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I kept running into him, and I'm the type of Pokemon trainer where I'm going to use the six I love and try to make them as good as possible. I'm not going to
Not the
grab,
menace.
yeah, I'm not going to grab a Kangaskong just to win, like that's not fun for me.
Right,
So
yeah,
I kept
no.
running into those, and I kept being like, I'm probably gonna lose. There might have been a few battles where I won, and I was super proud of my team, but generally speaking, I just got absolutely hammered
Wow.
by these. Yeah, just totally clapped by all of these Mega Kangaskongs. So that kind of actually lowers him for me. I don't like Kangaskong. I got PTSD over Mega Kangaskongs.
I feel it, man.
Yeah, so back at B for me. All
These
right.
next two.
Yeah, these next ones are fun. I'll go. I'll
These
let
next,
you go, Mr. Water.
yes, these next ones are awesome. They are absolutely fun. Very cool design, very cool move set, very cool look, very cool backstory, very cool, very cool, very cool. They're not that good.
Yeah,
Like,
I
sorry to
mean,
just take the 180. I mean, I
yeah,
cannot put them in A tier as much as I want to, but I cannot put them below B tier just because I love them so much.
I think that's fair. I'm gonna put both of them like high B tier because I think they're very respectable designs. But you are right that they're not that good. What they
Right.
do evolve into though is an example of what we want more of. Seadra wasn't good enough, so they give him another boost
Yeah.
to evolution, and now Kingdra is amazing, and Kingdra's
Yes.
really
Yes.
really cool.
Yes.
So yeah, they're gonna go up by Farfetch'd, right in front of Cloyster for me. They're both in that water type that I respect and would love to use, but maybe haven't used it before or not enough. High B tier.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I agree. They're right in front of Golduck for me, like number 15 in B tier.
Yeah, respectable.
Yeah.
Now these next two, I'm actually gonna let you know straight up. They're Goldeen is back at C tier, and Seeking is one of the most boring Pokemon out there. I think it is literally just a fish, and that's to its detriment. It's like Seal. It's actually gonna hang out right next to Seal because it's just a fish. So
Yeah, fair enough.
that's my thought. Goldeen's a little bit better because Misty used her pretty often in the anime. So Goldeen got kind of some screen time, and you're like, all right, you're like whatever, Goldeen, you're fine. Um, Competitively, I do like. I mean, they're really bad, but like using them in game, they do get Peck, which is a flying type, so that's cool because that can kill all the grass types that are trying to kill them.
True, yeah.
But besides that, like they're just a fish.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Um, they're both going D tier for me. They're
Yeah,
unimpressive. They're not that good at Pokemon. They're, I mean,
Goldeen's lucky she got C tier for me. I'll be real.
listen, man, like
I'm
I'd like to
watching
eat
Goldeen.
one.
I
That's
would eat
about it.
a Seeking.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Seeking
saying. I'd
probably
try
tastes
it.
pretty buttery.
Yeah.
Nice fillet of Seeking.
Hell yeah, dude.
All
I mean,
right.
what do you think they're eating in those Pokemon games?
Yo, they're eating Pokemon.
A
They
hundred
don't talk
percent.
about it, but actually they talk about it I think a little bit, but they don't talk about it enough. But yeah, they're eating Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Would you like to buy a Slowpoke tail for $10 million?
Was it 10 mil?
I don't know. It was a
That's a
lot. It was
steal.
more money you had in the game, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. What is it? Normally $50 million, but I'll give you a special deal today. It's only 10 million.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. Thanks, man.
Like, whoa.
I'm almost there.
Yeah, what a steal. I can't miss up on this.
These next two.
Yeah, take it away, man. This is still in your water wheelhouse.
I love these next two Pokemon. Absolutely love them. I have an obscene just love for these Pokemon. Dude, back in college, I spent 3 full quarters, 1 full year working on researching a cure for the sea star wasting disease just
Hmm.
because I love sea stars so much. I absolutely love them. They're not bad Pokemon. They do unfortunately fall under the whole there's only one evolution, so they're not that strong in game type thing.
Yeah, Starmie is pretty
But Starmie's
exceptional, though.
not bad,
Yeah, it's
and
not too
Starmie's
bad.
actually gonna go at the end of A tier for me,
Okay.
whereas Staryu is going towards the beginning of B tier. And the only reason that Starmie's going at the end of A tier is because if they had one more evolution, they would be S tier.
Hmm. I can
I
see that.
guarantee if they had another evolution, that Pokemon would be S tier for me.
Okay. So my love for these kind of equals yours. I have Staryu very high A tier. He's hanging out just in front of Seadra and
Hmm,
Cloyster, just behind Farfetch'd. So high A tier for Staryu.
Staryu,
Starmie, however, really high, dude. Like I'm talking, it's up
S
here.
tier.
It's not S tier. It's not on my 6. I would gratefully love to train one now and then, but I have other water types that almost always take priority over this guy.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna drop him in A tier behind Victory Bell in front of Butterfree. It like Butterfree is an old teammate that I remember using on my original team. And not only that, but I used him over and over and over again as my main secret go-to weapon in Stadium, where he would have Starmie was honestly one of the best in the like versus your friends, right? Because they get different kind of moves based off what section of the game that
yeah.
you're choosing them in. But specifically in like I think it was 6v6 free for all, where everything's level 100. Starmie had like Thunder and Surf and Psychic and Recover, and it was just an absolute beast. And so using it over and over and over again in Pokemon Stadium made me really fall in love with this Pokemon. And ever since then, it's been one of the best water types in the game. Period.
I could see that. I've got a question. We're getting ready to come up on legendaries.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any rules about how many about what can be in our S tier?
Nah, man. 6 Pokemon in your S tier. That's the only
All right.
rule. That and only one from each line,
Okay, okay.
which I don't think is going to be a problem anymore at this point. maybe
Only one
maybe
from each line?
Dragonite. Yeah, like
Oh, like line of
with
evolution.
the
That's right.
evolution
That's right.
line. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's why my Squirtle's out
Oh,
here instead of
damn, dude.
Blastoise.
I wanted a Gyarados and a Magikarp.
Yeah, well. I probably would too. We'll get there.
It wants to splash, man.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we're coming up to
Huh.
some of the single evolution guys that didn't get
Yes.
evolutions until later, which were always kind of not as cool to me in the OGs because I just really like evolution. The idea and concept behind it's really cool for me. So like as a kid,
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't care too much for Electabuzz and Magmar. But now that I'm older, one, I know what they evolve into, but two, I can just kind of respect them for like their designs alone. So I think a lot of these are actually going to be rated pretty high for me. So, not sure about you.
Yeah. Yeah, they are actually. I already placed Mr. Mime.
Mr.
And he's actually
Mime.
back of A tier.
Oh, an
Fantastic
A tier
Pokemon.
Pokemon for you, huh?
He hits hard. I usually don't end up training him, but that's just because I usually don't end up finding him.
True. Yeah,
Uh,
it's very rare.
I mean,
Yeah.
straight up. But if I see one and I catch it, I will train him, and he's pretty solid, man. I don't know if he wouldn't end up on my final team probably, but
Oh,
he's
he's not S
pretty
tier.
solid. Yeah,
That's why
exactly,
he's A tier.
exactly. But he
Okay.
is solid A tier.
Okay. I put him at the back of B. I don't like him as much, but he fits like all those other Pokemon down there, like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan, where it's like, I respect you enough that you're in B tier, you're a good Pokemon. You're just very much at the bottom of my interest level for that type of Pokemon.
I could see that.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Rhyme, which is it's either a Alolan form or Galar form, he's all about tap dancing and stuff,
Yeah,
and I don't know, it never really
caught
jived
on.
with me. Yeah, I didn't really care. I'm not gonna drop it in D because I think it's a creative Pokemon. but it's just not for me. Like I just don't care for it. So it's gonna go back as C, kind of hanging out with
Yeah, I'm not a
the
big fan.
Alolan other stuff that's back there. Some of it's just kind of meh.
I'm with you.
Yeah, just kind of meh.
My boy Scyther, what do you think?
Scyther, dude. I'm gonna be real here. If anybody has Scyther anything lower than A, I think they're wrong.
No, I'm wrong.
Scyther's incredible. I don't
Scyther's
even
great. Scyther is not strong enough endgame.
know, but I think Scyther's design and personality as like a feisty
Is
praying
amazing.
mantis is so cool. I'm gonna
Yes.
let you know, I almost never train Scythers. Like they're not one I see and I'm
Really?
like, I want that. But it's a Pokemon from afar that I can respect so goddamn much that I'm like, you're A tier. 100%. He's gonna be at the bow. I gotta put him at the back of A tier. I like my Kinglers better.
So
But
we're
yeah,
not too
he is
far
A
off.
tier. For sure.
Because I'm putting him B tier, but I'm putting him above Staryu in B tier, and he's actually number 5 in B tier.
In front of Staryu, okay.
He is in front of Staryu.
I feel
He's
like
actually
that's
a
a
fantastic
statement for you.
Pokemon. And as much as I like Staryu and Starmie, I think I've actually trained more Scythers. To high level, that is, at least,
Sure.
I probably caught more Staryus, but I've trained more Scythers. And Scyther, not to get back on that stupid Pokemon Stadium game, but that one did have a fire. I could cut that log right on the mark every time.
That one did have a game, yes. That one we can confirm. Okay. Well, next up is his long lost sister, Jinx. What's your thought
Yeah.
on Jinx?
But back of D tier. Nope, just kidding. Second from the back.
Oh,
Nothing's worse than Jigglypuff.
man. I
I don't
forgot
like Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff is all the way at the back for you. That's gotta get you some hate, man.
I don't care. I don't care.
That's
I
funny.
hate Jigglypuff. Even the freaking the Gigas are beating Jigglypuff.
I don't hate Jinx as much, but she is C tier. I think she should have gotten a. Well, first off, she has that whole racism background where she was forced to be. Her skin color was forced to be changed to be. She used to be pure black in the old games, and then they forced her to be purple because people were saying that it, was racial profiling. Which, if you look at it, kind of was. So
Yeah.
they were on the mark there. But even ignoring any of that and just kind of having her as a Pokemon, I don't. She's humanoid. I'm not the biggest fan of the humanoid Pokemon, like Hitmonchan. Honestly, kind of weird. Jinx is kind of in the same ballpark for that. And then the fact that they didn't give her an evolution when they gave Scyther and Magmar and Electabuzz and even Mr. Mime at this point, they've like done new stuff with them. They don't want to touch Jinx because of her background as a all the stuff that she's been through basically in the politics. So all of that puts her in the middle of C. She's behind Kakuna. I like Weedle better.
I can see that.
Okay. Here's some fun ones. Yeah, these next 5 are going to be really fun to talk about, to be honest, because I think all of them are great.
Yeah, the next 6.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Electabuzz? Where would you put it?
I think Electabuzz is a fantastic Pokemon. I haven't trained many, but I'd be a fool not to put him in A tier. He is above Mr. Mime, but he is behind Starmie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Electabuzz for me, literally everything I said for Scyther, I could say again for Electabuzz. He's back of A tier for me. I think he is a fantastic Pokemon. I just personally never really trained him that many times.
I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I've trained him once or twice, if that.
Yeah.
But he's a great Pokemon. I love him.
I'm always like waiting for the day where I play some random Pokemon game and I come across an Elekid early, and I'm like, yo, you're with me till the end, and I end up with this super awesome Electivire who's just like hitting crazy physical attack electric types. It'd be so cool.
That'd be awesome.
So he's hanging out. Question is, do I like him better than Scyther? I think I do, actually. So he's going to sit right in front of Scyther. Just behind Kingler, which Kingler probably doesn't... Or next to Krabby. I think Krabby doesn't want any electricity next to him, but too bad. All right. What do you think about Magmar?
I'll let you start on this one, because I'm pretty excited for this.
Okay, so Magmar for me is the exception to this rule. I don't think he's as cool as Electabuzz and Scyther and even Tauros when we get to Tauros. But he is cool. So because of that, he's gonna go high B tier for me, and I think I'm gonna put him probably. I'm looking at some of the options here. Probably just behind Nidoqueen. Feels
Okay.
like a good spot for him.
I know you can't see my cam right now because we're filming on two different things. But
You're below me. You're down there. Yeah, I'm watching.
okay, fair enough. But when you said he's not as good as Electabuzz, I gave you two thumbs down on camera.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean that's fair. That's fair.
He is S tier. Back of my S tier.
S tier. I didn't realize you loved Magmar that much. That's cool.
He is fantastic. I think he's one of the best fire Pokemon ever.
Okay.
I think he's really original. I think he's really
He
cool.
is very
I
original.
like
Yeah.
that I'm able to take a humanoid kind of type of Pokemon and really like him because I'm with you where I don't like a lot of the humanoid Pokemons.
Yeah, he's not. I wouldn't say he's super humanoid. I mean, he's obviously
He's like
got.
Electabuzz humanoid,
He's got the T pose frame. He's like almost T
Yeah,
posing on there.
exactly.
But yeah, he's he's a big duck, big fire
Yeah,
duck, lava duck.
yeah, exactly, man. I really like him. I think he's a fantastic Pokemon. I think he's strong, and I can't think of many other fire Pokemon that I'd rather have.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. S tier. How many S tiers you got?
3. I have him. In front of him, I have Poliwrath. In front of Poliwrath, I have my boy Pidgeot.
Okay. I'm currently at Nidorino, Squirtle, Gengar, and Arcanine. But we are coming to the end here. We've got Pinsir and Mega Pinsir. You got any fondness for Pinsir?
I actually really like Pinsir.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think he's a fantastic Pokemon. I'm not even going to rank Mega Pinsir. I haven't messed with him much.
Don't worry, I will.
But Pinsir is actually going to be my number 4, 2 spots above Scyther in my B tier.
B tier. Okay.
Yeah, he almost made A tier. He's a fantastic Pokemon.
Well, he definitely made it past that line for me. He is 100% A tier for me. I'm a big fan of Pinsir, and he sits up here mainly because Mega Pinsir. Mega Pinsir is easily one of my favorite Megas of all time, and I think it's what Pinsir probably should have just normally evolved into, period. You know?
Right.
Like, he should always have been able to fly and look like that with more badass horns. So, yeah, back in X and Y, I would use Mega Gengar. I would use, usually when I was trying to go up against those people who were killing me with, Mega Kangaskong, and that was really annoying, I would bring Mega Pinsir, because Mega Pinsir was really good back then in X and Y. He's still pretty solid, but, people don't fight with Megas anymore.
Right.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mega Pinsir, and because of that, that pulls normal Pinsir up with him, because it's not, it's just a Mega, so he's really attached. You always have a Pinsir, and then he just goes badass for him and starts killing people,
I
and
feel it.
it is A tier for him. So yeah, A tier.
What about Taurus?
Tauros. I respect Tauros. Tauros was a whole heck of a lot cooler in Gen 1 than he is today, because they keep adding cow Pokemon and not doing anything new with Tauros. Like, where is our Tauros new form?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what's going on with that? And they should have a baby form that males turn into Tauros and females turn into Miltank.
Yeah, 100%.
Just do that. Like, I don't know why they didn't do that when
it'd be really cool.
baby Pokemon came out. Yeah,
it'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, so I respect him, but I don't think I can put him in A tier. He's not quite an Electabuzz.
No, he's a B tier for me, and he's not even top of B tier.
Yeah, he's hanging out honestly right next to Onyx. I feel the same way about Tauros that I do Onyx. You just see it and you're like, that guy guy's cool, but I mean, Ash was able to catch like 30, so it wasn't.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's like not that impressive. You said he's by your Diglett?
Yeah, he's one ahead of my Diglett. He's right in the middle of B tier.
Okay. Yeah, same with me. He's smack in the middle of B tier.
Yep.
He is 2 in front of Magmar though. So.
Okay, interesting.
All right. Ooh, we have arrived. We have arrived at.
I'm going to start with this because I know how you're going to rank this, and I know that you can talk all day about it.
Let's don't give it away.
My bad.
I'm just kidding.
He hates him. Absolutely hates him.
Yeah, I hate this Pokemon. This thing's trash. All I can do is splash, tackle at level 5.
So Magikarp is actually going to be my number 6 in A tier. And it's because I think he is honestly a solid B tier. I understand it's just tackle and splash, but I love him for who he is, who the memes are, and who he turns into. Not to mention my first day back in country after Pokemon Go came out. I went out to
Oh
play for the
yeah.
first time with friends, and I caught a shiny.
Yep. That
So that was cool.
I can confirm I have seen it. He has a
Yes.
shiny Magikarp in Pokemon Go, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like that's just cool, you know.
But as far as Gyarados, dude, they're both A tier, and they're actually both right in front of Magikarp. The Mega is actually in front of both of them.
Yeah, the Mega
Really love the Mega.
yeah, so I guess I'll start talking for hours about these guys. But yeah, the Mega is the one I was talking about where there is one Mega that I love more than Mega Gengar and now Mega Pinsir, and that's Mega Gyarados. But I'm gonna put Magikarp extremely high, probably for the same reasons. I love this Pokemon and I love the line. And when you are a true fan, let me scroll down and grab my Gyarados here. When you are a true fan of Gyarados, like I am, and I'm putting this guy up at S tier, you've trained a whole heck of a lot of Magikarps. And you have learned to deal with the Magikarps, and for, at least for me personally, form a real close bond and like fondness over this fish that all doesn't do anything. It
Yeah.
just sits in your party, right? But yeah, like Al said, like the memes behind it, you know, it's hilarious. I've got another shirt that I didn't bring out here, but it's a picture of a really sad looking Magikarp in a swimming pool with next to a sign that says no splashing. So like jokes like that, you know, are great with Magikarp. So he's sitting in front of Zubat, believe it or not, as my what is that fifth one in A tier, just behind Haunter. And then yeah, of course Gyarados going in S tier. He has always been my go-to water type. I struggle because a lot of my favorite starter Pokemons are water types, but often I won't pick them because I'm looking ahead and I know that Gyarados is in the game and I'm going to want a Gyarados as my water type. So I'll take like the grass or the fire starter simply because Gyarados is going to be on my team. And then yeah, the Mega, I would honestly, like I've been saying, this is my go-to Mega. I would put it S tier, but we can only have one, and I think normal Gyarados I like more than its Mega. But its Mega is really cool, so I'm gonna put it sitting down here just in front of Mega Pidgeot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's high A tier. Everything about Magikarp and Gyarados very high A tier. And actually, let me talk about this. I am extremely glad they did not make it Dragon when it Megas. It's a Dark type because it's always been a Dark type. It always talks about how it's like raging and ferocious and just like all out power. It was never a dragon type to begin with. It was a really mad fish that got really pissed off that everybody was making fun of it forever, that it turned into a giant water monster that can then mega into a dark type to fuel its rage. It's just cool, you know? The ultimate comeback story.
I dig it.
Yeah.
What do we got next? Lapras.
We got Lapras.
And what, Giga Lapras?
Giga Lapras, yeah, which is...
I'm actually going to stick Giga Lapras right next to Lapras, and I think they're both back of B. I like Giga Lapras. I like the design.
It's just a big Giga for me, which means I don't like it.
No, it's one of the few that I already see Lapras as big, and I'm like, all right, if you're going to make a Giga, yeah, let's grab a big one, make them bigger. I'm in.
Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough. Where do you put normal Lapras?
They're both back of B.
Back of
normal
B.
is one ahead of Giga.
Okay, I'm actually bringing Lapras up to A tier. Lapras is a fantastic Pokemon. Yeah, I've used them a few times. It's Lapras. If I'm trying to think right now if there's any other ice type I like more, but I don't think there is. Just quickly off the top of my head, I think this is my favorite ice type. Period. And there's not many good ice types. Let's be real. It's like one of the worst types, if not the worst type. Maybe Bug, but
yeah.
But yeah, I'm putting him. He's at the back of A tier, but he's in front of Kingler. I really respect Lapras, and everybody got a Lapras, you know, in the original games. So I feel like it's very fond. Everyone got their Lapras, and I feel like
everybody saw it in the anime.
Yeah, 50% of the people, you know, nicknamed it Nessie. And they're like, hey, I've got my Loch Ness monster. And, you know, it's great.
I wasn't in that 50%.
I wasn't either, but I'm just saying.
I honestly think I named him Boat. And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Yeah, dude, he's my boat.
I mean, yeah, I was about to say that everybody used it as a boat, as a surfing Pokemon. I mean, that was that's the gameplay decision behind Lapras, right? It was like, hey, the players need to surf now. Let's give them a Pokemon that has surf so that they could never complain that they didn't have a water type. Yeah. But beyond that, I think it's an amazing Pokemon. And this is actually a Pokemon I'm okay that it doesn't evolve. And there's not many that I can say that about. But I'm okay that it doesn't evolve. It's already big enough. It's It's like Snorlax.
Yeah.
It's a very solid one evolution Pokemon, and it's cool because of that.
All right. Let's
Ditto.
roll through this.
Yeah,
Let's see. Ditto is one that I don't have much to say about.
really.
Um,
Okay.
I don't like Ditto.
You don't,
I don't like Ditto.
but you're a
I
breeder.
think I understand.
He's just a tool for you to use. That poor Ditto.
Pretty much. He's he's gonna be in C, but he's at the back of C.
Okay.
I don't think he's a good Pokemon. He's basically useless when he transforms into any other Pokemon, and the only thing I use him for is breeding.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with the take that he's useless when he changes into Pokemon. He is extremely hard to use competitively, but if you do use him, he can be like you can be your golden Pokemon that everyone has to build their team around the fact that you have a Ditto, right? So when you get really into the nitty gritty of Pokemon and competitive building and all that, I think Ditto usually falls short of the mark. But when you have some fun formats that he is able to be used effectively, just the idea of copying your Pokemon is really, really interesting. But I put him in the middle of B because he's a Pokemon like Pikachu and Chansey, which I put him in between here in B tier. He's a staple. He just reminds me of Pokemon, right? Like if I think Pokemon, I think Pikachu, I think Chansey in the Pokemon Center, and I think Ditto while breeding. So he's a staple Pokemon that you're going to use in every Pokemon game, and he's middle of B tier because of that. My B tier is stacked
I
too,
can
by
see
the way.
that. My B is the biggest. C is a close second. Then.
Yeah,
There's a lot between B and C.
B should be the middle, I guess.
All right. Next up, I'm gonna take this one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna roll through the next 5 symbols on there. The next 4 Pokemon.
Okay.
So for starters, before I get into EV, the evolutions, the original 3, uh, Jolteon, fantastic Pokemon. He's actually going to be A tier for me halfway through. I love him a lot. He's one of my favorite electric types. Flareon, that's it, right? Flareon?
That's the fire one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only B. I think he's kind of weak, and honestly, Jolteon's kind of weak too. But Vaporeon, dude, Vaporeon is S tier. He's actually going to go 3rd on my S tier list.
Okay.
But before I release to see your choices, I gotta talk about Eevee.
Okay. Go ahead.
So Eevee, I love Eevee. Have always loved Eevee. Eevee will never be my S tier, but I'm leaving both symbols on here to judge. I understand we have 2 Eevees here. I'm gonna treat one as male and one as female. The male is middle B.
Okay.
The female, however, is going number 7 or 8 on my A tier.
Why the difference?
I love Eevee. The reason that it's such a difference is I understand I think Eevee is like an 8% or something chance of having a female. It's one of those ones, not
Sure.
not crazy. But I swear to God, I could catch 1,000 Eevees and none of them will ever be female.
So
So I
it's like
just respect it.
it's that elusive catch, basically.
No, 100%. 100%. The odds are no worse for it than like most other Pokemon.
Okay.
But I cannot catch a female Eevee.
Fair
So,
enough.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
What do you think of the evolutions?
I think Eevee is and this is bold, but I'm going to just say it straight out. Eevee is a better mascot for Pokemon than Pikachu and should have been
100%.
Ash's Pokemon from the get-go.
Yes.
Straight up. It represents evolution. It represents choosing your path of different routes. Represents customizing your Pokemon within the game. I love Eevee way more than Pikachu. And because of that, I think it's going to get top of B tier. But it's not one of my all-time, like Eevee's okay. I'll put him kind of by Raichu, to be honest, right behind Rhyhorn. Now, one of your 3 evolutions here was S tier.
Yes. And you're choosing the same one.
I also have S tier. No, you chose Vaporeon for S tier. My S tier is Jolteon, which completes my 6, by the way.
Oh, you don't have any more.
That is my team. My Gen 1 team, I mean, obviously I would evolve these guys, but Nidorino, Squirtle, Gengar, Arcanine, Gyarados, Jolteon. It's a balanced team. It's got immunities, it's got power, it's got special attack, it's got special defense. I've thought a lot about this team, but more than just their competitive use, right? These are my favorite Pokemon, like for sure. All of them would be amazing by my side. So yeah, Jolteon gets S tier, just for being like a great electric type, right? It's really really fast, really really fun, and everybody always ends up getting an EV, so you end up kind of getting used to one or the other. As far as the
Right.
other ones, I'm gonna put Vaporeon also up in A tier, or not also, but up in A tier, because I feel like Vaporeon honestly is very similar to Scyther and Electabuzz, so it's gonna sit at the back. I don't necessarily personally really like Vaporeon, but I respect it, and it's like a really strong Pokemon. I think it's a staple evolution. And even if we're looking amongst all the evolutions, like the other ones that aren't in Gen 1, Vaporeon's still really high on my list. Unfortunately for Flareon, Flareon falls short. I feel like
I agree.
Flareon could be cool, and they've done a lot to fix it. But it's lacking so many. Just like it's lacking moves, it's lacking a little bit of stats where you want it. I think design looks all right, looks cool. But yeah, it's gonna be back at B tier for me. It's just it's like Ponyta, man. It's just like it's there. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then this giant EV is the definition of why I don't like Gigas. It's just a bigger version of a
Yep.
Pokemon that has like clouds around it.
Yep. I did. I
It's
didn't even rate it.
yeah,
I don't like it at all.
it's down at D. It's in the trash.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yep.
Speaking of garbage, Polygon.
Ooh, that's harsh. What do you got against
Uh,
my boy Polygon?
I'm
Porygon.
actually. I'm
Polygon.
gonna put him at D. Oh yeah,
D,
Porygon.
D tier. That seems
Don't like.
low.
Don't like him at all. I've never liked him. I think he's kind of useless. He
Bruh.
has some good moves, and a lot of people like him, and I get that. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it. Don't really care, but I'm gonna put him, above the long neck. So I mean, there's that.
That's got to be one of the decisions you've made that I disagree with the most.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. Hey, I'm not here to say this is the best Pokemon in the world, but I do really like Porygon. Same with
Really?
his. He's cool because he's the only Pokemon that was created by man, or not the only, but like
I was gonna
that's
say
his
we're coming
shtick.
up on another one right now.
Yeah, yeah. There's yeah one big obvious exception to that. But yeah, he's not really like super explained. He's like just some like AI program that became a Pokemon. Um, he's B tier, but he is honestly high B tier. I really like him. I'll probably put him. Let's see. Do I like him more than Pikachu? That's always the question. I think no. So he's gonna hang out here behind Clefable. I think that's a respectable spot for him. So
Yeah, I can see that.
average Pokemon for me, B tier. But I don't hate him like you. That's a weird choice.
I don't like him. Look at him with his non-round edges.
Look at him with all these polygons.
Yeah. All right, it's time to get into some fossils,
Yeah.
sir.
So do you follow Lord Helix or not?
No.
Oh, that is the worst thing you have said in this entire video. Do you even know
Uh,
what I'm talking about?
no.
Okay. Long story short, because we're diving into some deep Pokemon fandom lore, if you will. There was that Twitch Plays Pokemon
Yeah.
event that happened years ago at this point. The players let the player in the Pokemon game choose Lord Helix, which was the Helix fossil from Mount Moon. And in
Yeah.
that game, when Twitch plays Pokemon, right, everybody's like picking a bunch of stuff for the trainer. Like the 1,000 people or tens of thousands of people are playing one game, so you end up clicking on
Right.
the items a lot, right?
Yeah.
Well, you cannot discard the Helix fossil, so it ended up being the number one item in the item bag pretty much forever. So you would very often click on it, or Twitch Plays Pokemon would end up clicking on it. So it became a huge meme in the community fan base where it's like, what is the player doing? Oh, they're just praying to Lord Helix real quick, So that's become a huge thing, and simply because of that, that has made me as a Pokemon fan start to really respect Ammonite a little bit more because of that. Nothing crazy, but I am going to throw him high B tier because of that, and I would not have done that in the past if it didn't have anything to do with that specific event in his life. And then for
I think
Omastar, it's kind of the same. He's just whatever. He's cool. He's B tier.
honestly, I think the next four fossils, the next two and their evolutions are both lower B. They're not bad Pokemon. I don't have a big backstory like you for
Okay.
them. But I mean, Like they're not bad, but they're nothing special. I wouldn't go out of my way for them, you know.
Okay. So all of them, even so Kabuto, Kabutops. Are you including Aerodactyl in that?
No, I am not. I'm stopping at Aerodactyl.
Okay. My Kabuto and Kabutops is I don't actually really have like a long story for why they're going to be higher than Helix, but I,
Right.
as a Pokemon fan, always chose the Dome Fossil. Just always did. So I always had a
Hmm.
Kabutops and a Kabuto. And so I like them a lot better. I think Kabuto himself, it's fine. I'm gonna put him in B tier because it's another one of those Pokemon that I don't really have a problem with. He's not that bad. He's not that great. He can hang out, I don't know, kind of lower actually. By Golem. That's fine. In front of Rattata. He's cooler than Rattata. No, he's not cooler than Rattata. Anyway. But the point I want to get to is Kabutops is sick, and I'm throwing him up in A tier.
Really?
I really like Kabutops. Yeah. Water rock type that's pretty quick and does physical moves. That's cool in my book. In fact, I think he's cooler than Electabuzz, Scyther, and Vaporeon. So he's at the back of
Really?
my A tier, but he's specifically in front of those guys. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then I'll lead into the next one because this guy right here is one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, period. I love Aerodactyl. It
I do
is
too.
very, very high. It is S tier for many times when I play through this game. If I can only have 6, very often he will be on my team. He is top 3 favorite rock types, top 3 favorite flying types, top 10 favorite Pokemon for sure. And then his
I would.
mega form is also incredible. Like they didn't do it wrong. It's a little funny. It's got like a beard, so it's a little funny, but
Yeah, it's a little
overall,
odd, but I
yeah,
mean, all the megas are.
yeah, overall it's pretty sick.
I think I'm with you, man. Like straight up.
Yeah.
His mega is going somewhere in mid A tier,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have him
and
behind
uh, and he's
Gyarados.
actually my fifth member of my S tier.
S tier.
He is
Oh,
number 5 though. He's back of the team.
I didn't realize you'd have him up that high. Okay.
He is very unique, very cool. Fills a niche in my team that I don't already have. And let's be real, 90% of the time when I play Pokemon, I have 2 water types because I'm obsessed with water.
True.
And that already makes my team weaker.
True.
So I gotta fill it in, you know?
True. Yeah, get a flying type in there to take out those pesky grass types.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't appreciate it too much either. But he's fast. He's fast. He's got it.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the big belly boy himself, Snorlax. I'm going to make a guess. You have 5 S tiers, correct?
Yes.
Is this your 6th? He's thinking. He's calculating.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I was like, come on, man. I know you love this guy.
He beats out 2 of them. He's number
Mm,
4.
you're crunching
Beats
data
out
down
Magmar and
below.
beats out Aerodactyl.
Okay.
So my final 6 are Pidgeot, Poliwrath, Vaporeon, Snorlax, Magmar, and Aerodactyl.
Respectable team. I appreciate a lot of those Pokemon.
Yeah.
Snorlax for me is mid A tier. He is amazing. Like what can I even say about
He can
Snorlax?
be anything, dude. He can be a special attack
Okay,
Snorlax.
he cannot be a special attacking Snorlax. Guys, you know how I was telling you all how he trained a ton of Froakies until he attempted to get that shiny Froakie. What he did not tell you was that he also went out of his way to breed a ton of Snorlaxes so that he could get the most flawless IVs and EVs for a special attacking Snorlax. And he
Special attacking and speed. I was hoping with enough speed he can get up to normal speed.
let's yeah,
Dude,
suffice to say it
this
did
guy
not
had like
perform in combat.
ice beam, freaking hydro
No,
pump,
I think you went. I
flamethrower.
think you went full hog, man. You had Fire Blast, Blizzard, Thunder, and Hyper Beam. Like you
Did
just went
I?
all out. It was ridiculous. And then when it hit my
Ugh.
Crobat, it would do like half damage because it's a Snorlax and it shouldn't be special attacking.
Dude, he did half damage on a special attack. That's pretty solid.
Uh,
That's a good Snorlax.
for a Snorlax, sure, I'll give him that.
Yep. I
Um,
love that boy, man.
yeah. So I put him middle of A. He is pretty much above everything that doesn't have a really specific personal reason for me to love it. He is right behind Ivysaur, which I love because of Super Smash Bros.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Although I guess actually no, you know what? I gotta drop him below Butterfree because those guys are usually on my team, and Snorlax is just there as a staple, respectful nod. But of course, I've used plenty of Snorlaxes. Hard not to in every game in the Kanto region throws one at you. Throws two at you actually sometimes.
True.
Now it's Giga Form. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm just harping on about these Gigaforms. I'll put this one in the back of C instead of the back of D because it's kind of silly, but he just gets even bigger, and he's so big that he grows a tree on his belly.
Yeah, I don't like his Gigaform at
Yeah.
all. I'm actually putting him second to last in D. The only thing he beats out is Jigglypuff.
Okay. Yeah, it's dumb. Okay, so for
Yeah.
the next three down here in legendaries, I want you to move over the forms so that the next three are Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, and we'll talk about their Galarian forms next.
Okay.
Because I know you don't know about those, but do you have a favorite of these three? Because I feel like every Pokemon fan that grew up and watched the first movie and then specifically watched the second movie, because of that second movie, they have a favorite. It might be Lugia and it might be Ho-Oh, but it might be one of these three. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, Zapdos, easily.
Zapdos. Okay.
Love Zapdos.
Team Instinct, by the way.
True, true.
Respect. Although you're what? Team Mystic?
Uh, yeah, insulting. Valor for life, sir.
Insulting, he says.
Valor for life. Team Red all the
All
way.
right. Well,
Uh,
how do you rank these three? Where do you tier them? Zapdos is A
I
tier,
put
I guess.
Zapdos. Yeah, I put Zapdos as a lower A tier.
Okay.
Honestly, like I'm talking like third from the back of A tier.
I'm actually
Um,
right there with you. I'm gonna be real.
yeah,
He is probably right behind Kingler for me. I like him more than Crab. He's gonna split up my Kingler and Krabby. Split the team apart.
I think Moltres is actually directly behind him.
Really?
Mhm.
That's where I disagree. I think Moltres, for whatever reason, is a lot lower than the other two. I don't think he's C, but I'm not gonna lie, man. He's like back a B tier. I really am not the biggest fan of Moltres. I always thought he was kind of just like a chicken on fire, you know? Like that's all he needs to
Yeah,
be, but like I don't know.
Moltres is actually close to being my favorite out of the three.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean they're real close. And then this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but Articuno is like a B tier. Like he's behind Scyther and actually he's behind Staryu.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan.
that is where I
I think
disagree. Articuno is my favorite of
I
all
think
three.
Articuno is hands down the strongest of the three.
Articuno is my favorite legendary. Period.
Huh.
Yep, always has been.
Interesting.
Always has been. Ever since I was a kid, I always really enjoyed Articuno. I wish he was a lot stronger. He's a frail special defensive tank, which, you know, that sentence speaks for itself, I think. So his competitiveness is really bad, but he's just like this really elegant bird. And again, I really like flying types. So as far as like isolating within legendaries, Articuno is my favorite out of that. And he's just cool, man. Big ice bird, flying in blizzards and stuff. It was just really cool to me as a kid. And so
Your
I've
favorite
always,
legendary in Gen 1 or overall?
I would probably say overall,
That's interesting. I'd have to pick Groudon.
Groudon's cool.
Yeah.
I am also someone who never uses legendaries on his team. I will catch them for completion, but I do not use them because I think they're an in-game way to give you an easy end of the game, and I would rather
I agree.
train 6 for the Elite Four and
I
not
agree.
bring in a legendary. That's not me.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know the next three. I'm not even going to rank them.
Okay.
But that being said, Moltres looks dope.
Moltres does look dope. Yeah. So out of these next three, it's actually kind of almost flipped for me. I really do not like the new Articuno form so much so I think its head looks kind of just like weird. He's going back a C tier. Like
Really?
I'll put him in front of Drowsy, but like I don't even know if he deserves that. But I'll do Moltres first. I do think Moltres they made him look really cool, and they almost went the like overly cool route with him, right? Like he's a dark
Yeah.
fire type, I believe, and so
Yeah, he's Dark
he's
Fire.
just cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna put him in the middle of B, right next to someone who I think is just as cool, Alolan Marowak. They both have that fiery coolness, which is hard to beat. But my favorite, dude, they made the new Zapdos is a fighting type based off a Roadrunner. He doesn't fly, he runs. And I have wanted a Roadrunner Pokemon
Hmm.
for so long. I'm a little bummed that it's a legendary because it's a legendary, and so that, it's going to be hard to catch. It might be not in some formats or whatever because it's a legendary. But if
Right.
this was just a normal Pokemon, it would be so high for me, possibly S tier. Not even kidding. Like, I love Roadrunners, one of my favorite birds of all time. Huge fan of birds in general. And I actually, like I said, I don't usually catch legendaries and use them on my team, but the new Sword and Shield games were post game when I got those. So at that point, I was like, yeah, why not? Trained it up, used it on my team, and beat all the DLC with this guy as pretty much my main. So he is high A tier. I have a lot of respect for him. He's actually going to go probably right behind Pidgeot, to be honest. It's a
Okay.
cool Pokemon.
All right.
Getting to the end here. Last evolution in line, and then we've got the Mewtwo and Mew. You got any love for Dragonite?
Yes, I do actually. All three I think are fantastic Pokemon, and could easily make my S tier team as far as legendaries go. Top three legend.
Not a legendary.
Sorry, you're right. Not technically.
It's a pseudo legendary, but yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah, okay,
It's not a
yeah,
legendary.
you're right.
Hey,
You're right. He's not.
it is what it
All
is.
right, fair enough. I still wouldn't put him on my team because he feels like a legendary. Maybe that's just me. But that being said, fantastic Pokemon, the entire chain. Love them all, and they are all going in A tier for me.
All in A tier. Okay. Um, I'm unique in that I would agree that Dratini, they're all higher than B for sure. Like they're B or A. I'm trying to decide where I want Dratini because I think Dratini is one of the cutest Pokemon they've ever made. you know, and that probably holds some like more or should probably hold more weight than it should. But I think I'm gonna put him top of B tier. I'm thinking I like him as much as Bellsprout.
Yeah,
Dragonair,
Dragonair is dope.
this is where I get a little controversial. Dragonair is cool, but I don't like it as much as I do Dragonite and Dratini.
That,
It's
that's
actually
interesting
it's
because I put
actually
him in the front.
yeah, I think a lot of people would probably put him in the front. He's hanging out with Executor and Sandslash for me. It's okay. He's okay.
Hmm.
And Dragonite, I've had a roller coaster of emotions with as far as like how much I like him. I like him, then I don't like him. I like him, then I don't like him. I think his wings need to be bigger, but I respect that he's kind of that funny, big chubby dragon with small wings. So like that's what they're going for.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
reminds me of like what's that show on PBS growing up? Dragon Tales.
Dragon Tails.
It
Yeah,
reminds me of the big fat one that had tiny wings.
right. Anyway, he's gonna go at back of A tier. I really like him, but he just barely squeaks out of the B tier.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, we have come to Mewtwo.
Good old Mewtwo. Do we start with Mew or Mewtwo? I know this is the order, but
Mew, technically, or Mewtwo. Technically
that,
Mewtwo is 150 and Mew's 151. I don't know how that happened in the Pokedex,
yeah,
but it did.
yeah, that's
The
kind of
clone
odd.
comes first somehow.
Mewtwo.
Yep, Mewtwo.
Mewtwo can be an incredibly strong Pokemon. That's Mega Mewtwo right afterwards, right? That's
Yeah,
not Giga. That's
it's
Mega.
Mega, and he has two Mega forms
Right.
because he's special like
But does he
Charizard.
have? Wait, he has two. The other one's also him. It's not Mega Mew.
Yep, that's Mega Mewtwo X and Mega Mewtwo Y.
Interesting.
One is
I've only
physical
seen
and
the
one's
first one.
special attacking.
So I actually will stick Mewtwo up in the top of B, number 2 in B tier.
Okay.
I think he's a good Pokemon. I don't really like him as much as other people.
I am actually, probably to the shock of a lot of people, going to agree with you. I think he is top B tier, but I've never had a whole lot of sentimental love for
Yeah.
him. He's going to go right behind Eevee, but I think it's hard to understate how important he is.
Not to
Right?
mention he's
Or
kind of a dick in the movie.
opposite, it's hard to overstate how important he is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very much a dick in the movie, but that movie's fantastic, and he does have that really cool quote, just like Meowth that we talked about.
Sure.
They both have their awesome
Yep.
quote, and
Yep.
Mewtwo says, I think I know this one for verbatim. He says, "I see now that is not the what is not what are you given out of life, but what you do with it that's important," or something like that. I guess I don't know it verbatim, but it's something like that, and it's a really powerful quote that has stuck with me as a person.
No, 100%, man.
Now the megas.
Real quick before you get into the megas, I can see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are.
Yes, that.
Fantastic quote.
I want that quote on one of those promotional posters in my living room. Like that is an amazing quote, you know.
Yeah.
That and the Meowth one.
Yeah, the megas, I'm assuming that's X and then Y.
It's X first. Yep.
So that makes sense why I saw why I know the left one. I had X.
Yeah. There you go.
That was the one I had, and I actually really like it. I actually like it more than normal Mewtwo, and I'm gonna bump him to the back of A.
Okay.
I am.
So I'm not gonna lie, I don't actually like the mega forms. I think they both look kind of dumb. They don't. Well, no. Here, let me back up. I think Mega Mewtwo X looks cool, but they made him fighting type, which I don't agree with. I think he should have looked like that and then still been just powerful and psychic. I don't like the long head tail of Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo Y, but I do like that he's like a special attacker. So because of that, X is in C tier, but Y is going to be in B tier, probably behind Moltres. Not the biggest fan of him, I'll be real. I would prefer just normal Mewtwo.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can see that.
And then good old Mew. What do you got to say about our boy Mew? Number 151, the last on this list.
Number 151.
Number 151.
To the upset of Mewtwo. Actually bumps Mewtwo down to number 3 on the B tier list.
Okay.
He will be number 2, directly behind Pidgey.
Okay. I have my Mew a little bit higher, and it's mainly because of Pokemon Snap. The very ending of Pokemon Snap when I was a kid. And you know, when you're a kid, you don't really finish many games, right? It's very hard to like
Yeah, but you finished
roll
that
credits. But you finish Pokemon Snap, and I felt really good catching him. Also, Mew was like put yourself in
one.
the
Spoilers, man.
yeah, spoilers for this old movie. Mew was like, you know, totally kind of a mystery for a long time in the anime, and then the movie came out, and then all of us as kids got like, you know, like Aztec looking Mew cards, and
Yeah.
Mewtwo was like formed from the most powerful Pokemon. So you're like, wow, if Mewtwo's that powerful, what's Mew like? And then, you know, Mew shows up and he's fighting Mewtwo or whatever. I always preferred Mew over Mewtwo.
Me too.
Just because of what Mew is. Mew is also, if you take a step back and look at like the theory of Pokemon lore, Mew's supposed to be the ancestor of all Pokemon. So he's like the first Pokemon, and all the other Pokemon come from his DNA, which is why you see Ditto, a failed clone of Mew, also have transform and be pink like Mew. So yeah, all things considered, Mew gets very high on my list, and I'm actually kind of surprised I'm ranking him this high. But as I talk about it, I'm realizing how much I do love Mew. I'm gonna put him just behind Charmander, but in front of Ivysaur, splitting up my starters up here.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a great Pokemon, man. It's Mew. You gotta love Mew.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I do have one more.
One more.
Yeah, so this is a Gen 1 video, and this has no place being here.
But it's gonna be here anyway.
But I gotta grab the letter A because I'm a huge fan of the letter
Oh,
A,
the
and I'm
unknowns.
sticking it at the front of A tier.
All right, I'll grab J. Where's J? Yeah, come here, J. Yeah, J can be at the front of my A tier in front of Arbok. I'm okay with that.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, guys, there you have it. Al, if you want to slowly scroll down our tiers here, kind of show them the full thing. I want to thank you all for listening and watching, because I know this has been a long one. It's been a gauntlet, but I hope you guys enjoyed some of the banter, some of us reliving our nostalgia, talking about the childhood, right, and what we love and what we don't love. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. Did you have fun, Al?
I had a blast, and let me just throw a challenge out to you. I know that my gaming channel isn't something I've been focusing on all too much the last couple of years. I've been focusing on my other channel, but I'm getting back into my gaming channel, and I'm sure it'll take off soon. That being said, your channel is killing it, Jacob. So I have a
Thank you.
question for all the people that are going to watch on your channel specifically.
Okay.
I love playing games with Jacob. Personally, I think that we have amazing banter. I've been able to sit in a car for 45 days with this man, and we didn't really argue. We
Wasn't
had a good
straight.
time.
We went to hotels in between.
True, true. We stopped. But anyway, what do you guys want us to do together? I think it would be a lot of fun to do some more collaboration type things.
It's a good
What
question.
do you have for ideas for that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah, I think a first thing that we can ask you if you guys would like to see Gen 2, maybe Gen 3, or some other type of tier list ideas. It could be something silly that you want to see us banter about, like best breakfast foods, right?
Best Taco Bell food.
Oh man, well,
Yeah,
oh,
Mexican
that
pizza
one would
hands
get
down.
heated. Best Taco Bell food. Ooh, I'm ready. But yeah, guys, let us know some things you want to see from us, and we can kind of schedule them and get them out for you guys, because I hope you guys enjoy watching them, because they're definitely fun.
Yeah.
Well, last but not least, Al, you want to tell the people your final 6? Give them a rundown.
Yeah.
One last time. Speak your heart out about your team.
In reverse order.
Okay.
Aerodactyl, fantastic Pokemon, beautiful, love him. Can't stress that enough. If I don't have a water type, I'm gonna have something that can fly. I just enjoy it. I really do. Magmar, a lot of hate towards him. A lot of people don't really like him. I
got
think he's
boobs on his head.
fantastic. Guess what?
He's got boobs on his head, man.
No, dude, that's his brain. It just can't hold in. He's so smart.
He's got 2 really powerful brains. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
dude,
Keep going. Keep
too
going.
low, too low. Snorlax, because my boy special attack Snorlax has to be up there. Vaporeon, I mean, come on, easily the best evolution, whether Jacob agrees or not.
We all know why he likes it.
Because he's water.
No, don't worry about it.
All right, all right. I feel like there's a meme thing now.
Oh, there's a meme thing. That's anyway. Keep going. If you know, you know.
Poliwrath, just because honestly, he's one of my favorite water types ever. And Gyarados almost made the list, but then I gotta finish it off with my boy Pidgeot.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last. I mean, you could ask Jacob. I mean, you can ask you, man. I don't remember the last time I played Pokemon that I didn't train a Pidgey.
Yeah, he's your staple starter for sure. That's the Pokemon I
Yep.
see with Al the most.
Yep, 100%.
Right
And he's
on.
not even the best Pokemon. I just love him.
These aren't meant to be the Pokemon. They're meant to be our S tiers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about you?
So quick rundown on mine. I've got, again, from last to first, we've got Jolteon, my staple little. I see it as my like little pet that I would have in the house. You know, I got a cute little Jolteon hanging out, but it's a vicious special attacker, and it is one of the fastest Pokemon on my team. Crobat's not on here, but you will notice that I love fast Pokemon. That's another trend of mine. Followed by Gyarados, my staple beast, my riding steed through the oceans. Used to be a tiny little fish that I would keep in a fish tank, but now it's one of the strongest members, period, out there. Like, this Pokemon is incredible. Then we've got Arcanine, the goodest boy that ever was, the only fire type I personally think anybody ever needs. Don't need Charizard, he's overrated. Get yourself an Arcanine. Trademarking that right now.
I agree. We don't need Charizard.
And then, of course, Gengar, right? Grab my shirt one more time.
He's a good one.
Gengar is incredible. Look how cool he always is on shirts, in game. Everybody loves Gengar. What can I say? Gengar's fantastic. He's there to be your best friend. And then my top 2 are both my personal starters. One in the video game world that was literally my first Pokemon, Squirtle. And then one in my fantasy world that if I lived out in real life with Pokemon out in the real world, I would very likely trade a Nidoran into a Nidorino. So Squirtle and Nidorino they're my favorite Pokemon on this list, for sure. They're pretty much tied, but we'll put Nidorino in first just to have them up there. All right, man. Well, thanks everybody one more time for watching. I welcome you to go over to Al's channel, give him a subscription, help him out. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our banter. And again, let us know some of the cool things you want to see us do in the future. But yeah, any last words from you, Al?
Yeah, I think that we can all, after what, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, however long this video is,
It's gonna be long.
we all came to one very important conclusion. Jigglypuff deserves to be last. And on that note, I'm out.
All right, everybody. Poor Jigglypuff, but we're out of here. I've been Jay. I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day. But until next time,